Welcome to the EPS Vision Resin Report. I'm your host, Cody Stalkup. Let's get right into it. It was not only homecoming for Enid football, it was also their home opener. Unfortunately, the first game of the Selby did not go as planned for Enid, as the Huskies of Edmond North would get the best of the Plainsmen. Much like Muscovy, it was only a one-score game heading into the second half, but the third quarter would go the Huskies' way, as they put up 21 points. The Plainsmen would go to try to make a comeback, and for most of the fourth, it looked like they would, but the score proved to be too mighty as Enid would lose 42-27 to Edmond North. Taking a look at some key moments. First quarter on the first drive, we see Blake Fuser run in for a 2-yard touchdown, his second of the season. Shortly after the touchdown, A-Rob rolls out to the right but turns around to find Bennett Percival wide open for the 2-point conversion. Enid up 8-0. Late in the first quarter, Edmond North has possession in the red zone, but Tyson Kennedy makes a stupendous one-handed interception. Just 2 minutes into the second quarter, Aiden throws a 26-yard dart to Zaire Allen for Allen's second touchdown of the season. 3 minutes into the fourth, inside the 5, Robinson hands it off to number 24 as Fuchser rushes in for a 3-yard touchdown, his second of the game. Less than 5 minutes left in the game, Aiden Robinson makes a 20-yard heave as two-way player Jamison Washington makes what could be the catch of the year. Fortunately, that would be the final touchdown for Enid. Final score, Edmond North 42, Enid 27. And now here's Landon Collins for the other games around 6A1.
Thanks, Cody. It was the final week before district play opens up. Let's see what went down. UConn hosted the Timberwolves, where it would be Norman North winning 57-28 over the Millers. Edmond Memorial went to Southmore last week. The game was over before it even started for the Sabres as the Bulldogs took them to the doghouse, pun intended, on a route to a 57-7 blowout. Mustang took the long road trip to Harbor to take on the Wildcats. They would end off leading with a well-earned victory, beating Harbor 48-47. And Norman went to Stillwater to face the Pioneers. This year hasn't been great for the defending 6A2 state champs, but Stillwater was finally able to manage a win, beating the Tigers 28-6. District play opens up this week. Let's look at the schedule. Starting off in District 1, Bixby will host Norman North. Both teams have had a good start to their seasons. We'll see which ones will continue to be amongst the ranks of the unbeaten. Southmore will make the trip to Broken Arrow to face the Tigers, while Bixby and Norman North are both unbeaten. Both the Sabres and Tigers have yet to find a win this year. We will see who finally gets their first victory against these two. The Moore Wars start tonight as Moore will take on Westmore in the rivalry between the Jaguars and the Lions. Westmore has won 4 out of the past 5 games against Moore, but Moore has started off hot, winning their first 3. Moving on to District 2, Norman will face Edmond North. The Tigers have yet to find a win, while the Huskies are 2-2. Memorial takes on Edmond Santa Fe for Edlam. The annual rivalry between the two teams will take place in Edmond Santa Fe. Over the past 5 matchups, the Wolves have won 4 of them. It's time for the Canadian County Bedlam. And the big game against UConn and Mustang will be happening this week. And the past 5 meetings with each other, Mustang has won all 5 times. And finally, it's a rematch of last year's semifinals between Union and Owasso. Last year, these two teams have faced off twice, once in the regular season where Union beat Owasso 35-17, but it would be the Rams getting the final laugh as they would win the semifinal playoff game that would go into 6 overtimes. That saw the final score being 50-47 and the Owasso Rams advancing. Now with district play opening up, every win matters. We'll see who starts off strong. Back to you, Cody.
And now, that brings us to the big game. The Trojans come to town to take on your Plainsmen. Last week, Jinx had a bye to rest up and celebrate their victory over Union. Last time Enid won their first district game was exactly 5 years ago, where on September 22nd, 2018, they beat PC West in double overtime. The game saw Enid make a 35-point fourth quarter comeback against the Patriots. The first time since October 4th of 2019 that Jinx has made the trip to Selby. It's been 32 years since Enid has been able to win over Jinx. With the once mighty Trojans on a down year, we'll see the Plainsmen can finally snap that drought. Until then, this has been your EPS Vision Resin Report, and I'm your host, Cody Stalkup. I'll see you next week. Go Big Blue!
Hey Enid fans, Hayden here with Coach Condor for episode 4 of the Coaches Show today. Coming off of a loss last week at homecoming. Coach Condor, how are you feeling this week?
Feeling good, a little tired.
Just a little tired, been a long week. JV game yesterday was a late night for you in the
Yep.
freshman game. How was that?
It was good. Freshmen went out there and competed. Ended up on the short end of the stick, but the JV boys played well. Ended up in a tie, 22-22 to Edmond North. We were up late in the game, and Edmond North kind of stormed back late in the game and tied it up. And so had a big stop on 2-point conversion to actually blocked extra point to potentially would have sent it into overtime, but me and Coach Whitson decided that we were ready to get home.
Okay, so coming into this week, we're heading into district play against Jinx this week. And we had a kind of uphill game last week, I'd say. A couple players really shined. Jameson Washington caught a touchdown. Zaire Allen did as well. Tyson Kennedy continues to shine on defense. How are you going to build off of those performances with practice this week and have a good week against Jinx?
Yeah, we're just going to continue doing what we do. Really the game plan's not going to change very much. We just got to have a little bit better job executing and, again, limit the mistakes. We had a lot of mental busts. And that's the challenge going into homecoming week. A lot of distractions. We busted out the powder blue uniforms, and so our kids were kind of tuned up. And so we got to limit our mistakes and keep striving for perfection and go out there and work on the things we need to work on. And I thought the tackling improved. And so just take this thing bit by bit and keep chipping away at it.
Were penalties and turnovers a main focus in practice this week?
Well, definitely going to be, and we'll continue harping on those things. Just from a standpoint of we got to be, have a keen eye for detail and execution. We can't turn the ball over. We're too young to stall out drives and commit those turnovers where we got get behind the sticks. And so we'll just continue preaching the things that we preach and hopefully we get those corrected.
Who on offense do you expect to really shine this week? Who are some key players on that side of the ball?
We're going to have a couple of different kids. I think we're gonna try and get Carmelo Washington more involved in the passing game, and then look for Joshua Withy to probably increase his carries quite a bit from the backfield. Blake Fuchsa, we're going to have to take a little bit different approach with Jenks. They're going to limit our possessions, and so we're going to play a little bit different style of football with them from the standpoint of we're going to vary our tempos drastically. We're going to go at a turtle's pace, and then we're going to go NASCAR. So we'll be all across the board from really being really slow to being really fast, and so there'll be some kids like Joshua Withy that'll carry the ball a little bit more this week.
So speaking on differences, how's the defense going to look this week? Who are some people that could shine there or really stand out that haven't this year yet?
I think it'll we're looking for the Russells to continue to get better in the scheme. Still waiting for a couple of those back end guys, Brady Bierschmidt to break out. So it could be a number of kids that kind of surprise us this week. We're gonna go with a little bit different front this week, and so be a little bit more bend but don't break. Try and slow them down. They're going to limit our possessions, and so we got to kind of bow our necks and play some good defense.
What will that kind of main focus on defense be, whether it's in the secondary or up front? What are you going to try to do to stop the quarterback?
Yeah, we're actually gonna give them a little bit different look from a standpoint of we're going to give them a bare front, which is basically we're focused on stopping the run, and so we'll have a few more guys in the box to make that happen and see what we can do.
Hey guys! Hey guys, welcome to our game tonight. Tonight we're going against Jinx. Hopefully it's a good game, and we're so glad to have you guys here watching with us on EPS television.
D37 Stadium for tonight's game between the Jinx Trojans and your Enid Plainsmen. To our visiting fans, we extend a warm welcome to Enid, and we hope you enjoy your time with us. Tonight's game is sponsored by Shortcut Chai Beer, or Shortcut to Great Tea. Our first rookie candidate is Riley Gaines. Riley Gaines is the daughter of Shelley. Riley has been in the dance since 6th grade. She is the mellow and is the mellow section. Riley's future leader of our team is Boston with a degree in radiology. Riley leads this group is Aaron Kurtz. Aaron is the son of Stacy Kurtz and Dan Kurtz, and brother of Jacob Kurtz. Aaron has been in the for 7 years. He's been truck rides intersection leader. After high school, Aaron will continue to pursue music with Group A all time. Our second queen candidate is Fatima Martinez. Fatima Martinez is the daughter of Sanchez and Jose Martinez. Fatima has been in the for 7 years. After high school, she was his escort is Edgar Garcia. Edgar Garcia is the son of Enid Garcia and Joel Garcia. Edgar has been in band for 7 years and plays the alto saxophone. Edgar serves in the saxophone section. Edgar plays in the and studying engineering. Arthur is in business in Guzman. Guzman is the father of Linda and Jose Guzman. Emily has been a part of band since 6th grade and the big rock band since her freshman year. She plays the blues as a section 2. Emily lives at UCO and get a degree in psychology. Emily's escort is Luke Finnegan. Luke Finnegan is the son of Doug Finnegan. Luke plays the saxophone and has been in band since 6th grade. He has been doing jazz band since 8th grade. After high school, he plans to go to the University of Oklahoma to pursue engineering or biology. For 2023-2024 and Queen and escort, this was Tila Martinez and Edgar Martinez. Edgar now presents the traditional cake and flowers. Now Edgar will face the crowd. And now the traditional kiss. Congratulations to Tila Martinez and Edgar Martinez. Blackberries are Timothy Miller, Cheyenne Sutton, and Gunnar Driver. announcers are head official Travis Green, umpire Matt Gordon, head linesman Cody Gibbon, line judge Roddy Tickler, back judge Donald Cohen. Captains tonight, starting with the visiting Trojans, Elias. Number 20, Jet Calvis. Number 22, Sean Phillips. And number 34, Kyle Enid. Your captains with Plainsmen, Jameson Washington, Rick Coles, Brock Sullivan, and Tyson Kennedy. Tonight's honorary captain is EPS District's Elementary Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Sandra Lamar.
We welcome you to E-Town for Week 4 Plainsmen football on EPS television. As the 1-2 Enid Plainsmen welcome the 2-2 Jinx Trojans at Debrew Selby Stadium to open up district play. Welcome to the booth, Landon Collins alongside Hayden Clark and Tiffany Chavez on the sideline here tonight to make her debut. Hayden, got some quick announcements for us tonight before we get into the game.
Yeah, two quick announcements. One, tonight is elementary night, so you're going to see some elementary school students run out onto the field with the players. And as well as that, we had some pregame band queen festivities where two people won that. So that was pretty interesting. Around 10 minutes in pregame up until kickoff. Two really nice teams coming in, heading into district play. Are you excited?
I am excited. The Plainsmen definitely need to move past last week's game just to get ready for district, for their first district game tonight. I mean, obviously losing to Edmond North isn't what you wanted, but you just have to move past that. Playing a good team like Jinx tonight.
You know, Jinx coming into this series 11-4 all-time against Enid. Enid won the first three, including a playoff win down and back in 1991. Jinx has won the last 12 games with playoff wins in 1997, 2008, and 2006. But this year is a new year, and both of these teams look a lot different than they have in recent memory. Enid on the come-up, Jinx maybe a little bit on the downhill.
Yeah, so touch up a little bit about the history in this matchup. 2008, Jinx won the first round, made it to the final, but later had a 4-4 game seed to play an ineligible player that year. Plainsmen lost to the Jinx in the playoffs the first round that year.
And it awarded Enid the win.
Awarded Enid the win, but the thing about that game is Enid going into the fourth quarter is only down to 3 points. Jinx went on to win the state title that year. Obviously, it wasn't given to Union because they had the ineligible player playing. But the question is, I think the Plainsmen have won the state title. Mark Johnson was on that team. He's telling me about that this week. I was asking him about just playing Jinx. And he said, yeah, we played him in the first round that year. I watched the highlights. Clint Shelf was the quarterback for the Plainsmen that year, his senior year. Went on to Oklahoma State in 2009 in the fall. So
it's crazy to think that we were maybe 3 or so points away from possibly going to the state championship and being state champions that year.
It was, and we also played Jinx in the 2006 state title game with Austin Box as our quarterback.
So.
And this is the first trip for the Trojans to Enid since 2020.
Yeah, I was just about to say that game was suspended due to COVID. So Jinx hasn't been here since 2020. We've been on the road against them every year before to this point. Now they're going to be coming to our house looking to get the win to open up district play.
Let's talk a little bit about Jinx, Hayden. Jinx starting out, they're 2-2 right now, 500% on the year. The question is, what type of Jinx team do you think we're going to see tonight?
Yeah, we could either see that groundbreaking team that we always know that had beat Union just a couple weeks ago, or we could see that team that's really struggled this year. You know, they haven't looked the same, but these two QBs are going to be leading the way. Hopefully, they're going to be on the right track tonight and get this win.
The first game of the season was at home, non-district matchup against Booker T. Washington. They won that game by 7 points. A little surprising is, as a Jinx fan, you'd think you'd blow out the Booker T there. My mom's an alumni. Shout out to her, Ms. Collins. Edmond Santa Fe, they lost that game by 1 point. That's a surprising one. Edmond Santa Fe having one win last season, and then they knock off the Trojans. That might be some comeback. I mean, some pay dirt. I mean, sorry. They lost that state title game in 2021 to the Trojans. So.
Well, a really vital piece today for this offense is going to be that offensive line. They're really physical in the run game. They're going to have to be tonight. They're going to have to stop this Enid defensive line from putting pressure in the backfield and stopping the run. Last week against Edmond North, Enid did a very good job against one of the top running backs in the state, holding him to under 30 yards in the first half. They played well against him in the run. Coach Connor is going to want to see the same thing tonight against this Jinx run game. Owen Jones and Mason Lilly, they really love to run a perimeter. They like to run, throw screens around there. They like the intermediate passing game, much like Enid. Both of these teams are going to run a lot of plays.
Yeah, they're splitting quarterback reps just like the Plainsmen did last year with Percival and Robinson. So it's kind of similar. One's a junior, one's a sophomore. So we'll talk a little bit about the running game for the Trojans. K.D. Jones, actually son of former Sooners running back Kiwan Jones. He played at Jinx as well, and he was a transfer from Broken Arrow. This is his first year at Jinx. This year, he did pretty well against the Plainsmen last year. That might be the factor of why the Plainsmen lost that game. They were ahead going into halftime by 3 points. K.D. Jones, good running back. He's only a sophomore for the Trojans. They have a couple others. Samaj Stanford, the brother of the Stanford, his Stanford brother, who's at Houston now.
These teams are going to both try to run a lot of plays on offense. They're going to try to run the ball and pass it on the screens and around the field. They're going to try to work the middle of the field in that passing game, see what they can do, and try to hold the ball and keep it away from each other's offense. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be about who has the best ball control, who creates the less turnovers, and it's going to be a good one as we see Jinx running onto the field.
And there's the Trojans running on, and let's touch back up on the Trojans' schedule. They lost 28-34 at Owasso, so that's a big loss for the Trojans. So then that's a 1-2 start, and then obviously last week they beat the Union Redhawks in the backyard goal 31-24. They had 4 turnovers in the first half. On defense, they had a 28-0 lead, and then they only scored 1 time in the second half. The Redhawks looks like they were going to come back, and they didn't.
Given how the year has gone for Jinx, you know, you'd be surprised to hear that they won the Union if you had looked at Jinx and beat 1-2. You'd be like, how are they going to win the Union? How did they do that? But this team, for as inconsistent as they've been, they're still just as good as ever, and they can still have a really, really good game and beat one of the top teams in the state, and they did that heading into the bye. Enid, heading into the bye, looked to prepare to get beat Edmond North on homecoming night. Unfortunately, it didn't go our way, but we played pretty good in that game and put up a fight. So let's see if they can continue to do that this week, continue to build off success that they've had in key areas. There's just going to be a couple areas that need growth, such as the secondary. The secondary has shown flashes of potential, but they need a little bit of development on hold. They're a little bit young, so let's see how they improve in this game. Let's see how they try to attack this Jinx passing.
Hey, let him through, let him through.
So the coin toss just happened. Plainsmen receiving the football to start the first half of this game. Jinx to kick off. They'll get it to start the second half. Captain for the Plainsmen tonight, the Everett captain was Tyson Kennedy. Obviously, the 3 other captains remain: Jamison Washington, Brock Sullivan, and Britton Combs. And for the Trojans is Elias Cooper, Jet Kalmus, son of former OU linebacker Rocky Kalmus. He was on that 2000 National Championship squad. Sean Phillips and Kai Beatty, the senior tight end.
Yeah, Tyson Kennedy winning Effortville Captain of the Week. Very well deserved, especially after his performance last week, creating multiple turnovers. He is a ball hawk, and he is naturally very talented around the football, especially in the receiving game as well, now playing receiver this year. He has been one of the key pieces to this team on both sides of the ball.
Tyson Kennedy, obviously on defense, he said he's doing phenomenal. He has top 10 all-time for interceptions in a Plainsman career. Yes, coming into tonight's game with 11 interceptions in his career. And let's touch back. The last time Enid won their district opener was at PC West in 2017. 35-point comeback in the fourth quarter. And Coach Ellis, we were talking to him before the game. He said that, sorry to name drop you, Coach. He's like, you guys going to name drop me? But yeah.
Yes, we are.
He had the game-saving tackle in regulation to bring it overtime. Well, actually, they were down by 7. He made the game-saving tackle. Enid marched down the field with 30 seconds, scored, tied up, went to overtime, won that game later on.
They won it in double overtime because of that tackle that he made that was really clutch towards the end of the game. Ended up getting the ball, taking it down the field and scoring. 2 overtimes later, they won that game. 35-point comeback in just the fourth quarter alone. That's impressive.
So we're about to kick the ball off here to start this game.
The ball fell over.
It did.
So it's been a bit of a windy day. As we were coming up here, our chips actually flew right out of our baskets, huh? It's been quite windy.
Yeah, it was pretty windy today. So the kickoff for the Trojans, number 24, Braxton Talent.
Something new today, the Plainsmen are wearing navy blue pants as well. So last week we saw new jerseys, now we see new pants.
Carmelo Washington will not take that one back. Plainsmen to start at the 20-yard line. 25 to start this game.
Speaking of Washington, he's going to be a big part of this offense this week. Talking to Coach Conder all week long, he said, I want to get Carmelo Washington as involved with this offense as possible. I want to get him involved early and often in the passing game. I want him to be able to make plays with his legs. Very speedy guy, can make a lot of moves. Let's see if he can do it.
We talked to Coach Conder before this game. He said he just wants to get out there, for the team to do their best and get this win tonight.
See if they can.
Their second home game in a row. Last week they lost to Edmond North. Let's see if they can bounce back tonight. Here's the first snap of the game. And actually it is at the 20. Hand off to Blake Fuchs to start. And he's going to get actually no gain on the play.
This would be a huge win for Enid, as we've said multiple times. This is the beginning of district play. You want to win your district games as much as possible. It helps with playoff seeding. And, you want to beat your district opponents, and especially a top team like this who is considered a top team. Taking those types of teams down is a very big confidence booster for your team, and it also improves your record, obviously.
Yeah, some teams usually have their first, 3 games of the season, sometimes 4, before their first district game. And obviously those are pretty important, but it really gets to be more important once you start the district matchups. They give it to Blake Fuchs again, and he gets jammed up at the line, no gain. Actually, they're going to give him 1 yard. So it's going to be third down and 9 for the Plainsmen.
Something they're going to try to do as well. They're going to probably try to run the ball a lot more often this week. Previous weeks, they don't really run the ball too much, maybe 20, 25 times a game in total for multiple people. They really like to spread who runs the ball besides Blake Fuska. Let's see if they change that up. They've ran 2 straight run plays in a twin set now. Let's see if they pass this ball, try to air it out, and get the first down.
They start from the right hash on third down. First pass play of the game for the Plainsmen. Pressure's coming. Robinson rolls right, breaks the tackle, and he's just going to have to go out of bounds. Gets hit hard on the far sideline. Actually loses a couple of yards there, so fourth down and long for the Plainsmen on the field.
Scrambled out to his left side. Maybe just elected not to tuck it and keep it himself. He was still looking for a guy to get open. Nobody was able to get open.
And you don't want to force the pass either.
Kudos to Jinx secondary. They did a really good job covering there. He didn't want to force a pass. Great improvement from last week where he threw a couple interceptions on some forced passes. So this Palms coverage is going to be something they're going to try to exploit and beat this game. But so far, Jinx has done a really good job.
So Aiden Robinson, it's a punt for the Plainsmen after the 3 and out. Back to receive the freshman Samaj Stanford for the Trojans. Takes it near midfield to the 45 to the 40, and he's taken down. Plainsmen have about 40 yards they need to defend till the end zone. Jinx looking to score first here tonight.
So one thing about this defense that we're going to have to keep note on is last week they really had trouble stopping the Edmond North offense from passing the ball and scoring that way. They did a really good job of stopping the run as we expected them to run the ball a lot, but they came out and actually passed the ball quite often, early and often, and it just ended up getting them the win. So let's see if the secondary can improve lockdown this week. I expect to see a lot of guys rotating in and out, changing it up in the secondary to try to confuse this Jinx passing game in their offense.
So Jinx starts out with the junior quarterback Owen Jones, and then they motion Jones. Fire to the flat to the 40 to the 35, makes a move, leaps up, 6-yard gain off the reception for the sophomore running back.
Tried to hurdle Tyson Kennedy, did not work. Got tackled, hit from the legs. Still a positive gain. So
second down and 4 on the field. Jinx to do some pre-snap adjustments. Coach Connor talking to us a little bit about this earlier this week.
they run a lot of formations on offense, so pretty tricky to try to adjust to them throughout the game and get comfortable with them. Great play by Tyson Kennedy there to get the tackle for loss. Hyped up heading into the sideline, now back onto the field.
It's a great way to get on the edge there. Plainsmen cover the flat pretty well. Let's see what the Trojans do here on third down. It's going to be third down and 4. So no gain on the play. Ball at the 34. Score at 0. Owen Jones comes from the far sideline to the huddle. His troops come out for third down. The first third down of the game for Jinx.
Trips to the bottom, so 3 people. Now they motion him out, so trips to the top.
Motion Corey Foreman. They throw it to Corey Foreman. Caught at the 40. Looking for the edge. Gets the first down to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 5. Cuts upfield. Touchdown Trojans. They score within 4 minutes. 6-0. Trojans on top.
Took 3 plays, and on third down, able to swing it out to the running back. He takes it in space, gets the touchdown. Nobody was able to stop him on the edge. Somebody there that's going to have a big night tonight, who had a big night last week, was Blake Thompson. He had a really great night on special teams last week, especially having a few really nice returns. He's going to be vital for this secondary.
Franklin hits the PAT, scores 7-0. Jinx on top. Plainsmen with a chance to tie it up.
Split reps.
Jack Franklin to kick off for the Trojans from the 40-yard line. Back to receive Blake Thompson. We just talked about him a little bit. And Carmelo Washington. We saw him get in a little bit last week.
Thompson has really come in on his own and done really well in the return game. One of the more talented players on this team. Quite young, too. One of the youngest on the team. One of the youngest starters.
Left-footed kicker approaches the football, lobs it up right side. Takes a bounce. Dane Wiggins picks it up. Plainsmen will start inside the 35.
So we see Aiden Robinson head onto the field with his offense. One thing to note, last year he was not the starter, I believe, for the Jinx game. I believe Bennett got the start. If not, Aiden got the start, and Bennett has QB in there as well.
They split reps either way, yes.
Yeah,
correct.
either way, they split reps throughout that game. They really tried to see who could get a groove. It looked like Aiden would have a groove. At one point in the third quarter, we were only down by 7, 28-21. In the fourth quarter, we just could not keep up, and we ended up losing that game. So, interesting enough, Enid has kept it close with Jinx in the last couple of years in some of the games that they've played, and they've been able to put up a good fight.
So first down and 10 from the 33. High pass for Zaire Allen, incomplete, over his head.
Showing off the arm strength a bit, had a lot of zip on that pass, just too high. It's one thing about him, too. He's got a really good arm. He really worked on improving that all off season long. He's done a great job. He's got a cannon of an arm. He's just got to put the pieces together, get some of those easier short passes.
So second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. 8:43 on the clock. And it's a handoff to Blake Fuchsa. He'll get 1 yard on the play to the 34-yard line.
So on third down, got to convert here early on. This is a kind of a crucial third down, something you want to get and keep the ball moving. Not give this Jinx offense another chance early to score and go up double digits.
See if they can limit the mistakes here. Left side for Allen, incomplete. Too far to his left, so clock will stop at 8 minutes and 1 second. 7-0 the score. Trojans still with the lead. Plainsmen at the 33-yard line, and it looks like they're going to punt this ball away, give the Trojans a chance to maybe go up by 2 scores.
Not something you want to see. You want to see this Plainsman offense finish and limit mistakes on their drives. They need to have a lot cleaner drives. They need to move the ball a lot more efficiently and better. They need to be able to get past midfield and get into the blue zone. They need to give some of their guys opportunities with the ball to make plays.
And it's something they worked on in practice this week. They had a situational practice where they practiced third down and long, third down and short. So, I mean, they practice it. We're just going to see how much.
Put it into effect.
Yeah, they can put it into the game. Flag down. Smosh Stanford hit hard in his own territory down at the 47.
Only the first penalty of the game. Last week we saw a penalty like constantly. We saw them throughout the game pretty frequently.
So Jinx leads the series 11-4. And the last time the Plainsmen knocked off the Trojans was 1991. It's been a while. Let's see if they can do this tonight. They need to stop on defense. The Trojans start near midfield from the left hash. First down and 10. You have to get past the 43-yard line, which is across midfield. Owen Jones still in the game at quarterback, steps back. After the motion, deep shot down the field. He's looking for Aiden Christensen, incomplete. Almost had the one-hand grab on the near sideline. Carmelo Washington got beat deep right there.
Good thing he had the speed to be able to recover and catch up with him at the end. Bring up an incomplete pass, but mistake in the secondary. Kennedy trying to keep him motivated.
Just a little bit too much air on that pass from Owen Jones.
Just like Robinson's pass, just last drive that sailed into the sideline. Just overthrew a little bit.
So second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. They motion one. And it's a handoff to KD Jones. Gets to midfield. Down at the 46. Still no first down, so a third down and 3 on the field for the Trojans.
This would be a huge opportunity to get off the field earlier after your offense could not move the ball. Give them the ball back, see if they can come to life.
We saw it right there. The Trojans did the pre-snap adjustments. They really like to do that a lot. They run about 40 formations on offense.
I was just going to say, they run a lot of formations. They try to keep it as tricky as possible for offenses to keep up with you.
And that's why it's so hard to prepare for the Trojans.
They're hard to prepare for.
But right here, they have the empty set. So 2 to the right, 3 to the left. Owen Jones on his own in the backfield. Takes a snap at midfield. Looks left side for his man, and it's caught. First down to the 40, out of bounds at the 38. And with the catch, it was Corey Foreman.
Washington there to get the stop to avoid the big gain. Moving the chains.
So Jinx decent at the passing game, but coming into this game, we kind of expected them to control the clock with the running game. So far, they've only ran it about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, we really expected that from Edmond North last week, too, but they came out of that game and they came in passing it. They came out swinging on all cylinders in the passing game, and they were able to keep up in the game and eventually take that lead and never leave with it, or without it.
Here's the I formation from the Trojans. Handoff, KD Jones. And he's taken down, a 5-yard gain.
.645 to play.
Second down and 5 on the field. 6 minutes and 34 seconds on the clock and running. Plainsmen down by 7. Trojans looking to extend the lead by 2 scores here on their second offensive drive of the night. They set up in the wing T formation, something Coach Connor was telling us about. One of their weird, tricky formations that not a lot of high school football teams run. Quick snap, handoff, Katie Jones finds the hole, gets the first down. He's actually going to get some extra yardage. He clears the first down marker by 3 yards. Move the chains all the way to the 25-yard line, 5 yards shy of the red zone for the Jinx Trojans.
Try to hold them to maybe just
maybe a takeaway.
Goal.
I mean, what you'd like to see here is a takeaway from the Plainsmen.
Tyson Kennedy, one of those guys who always makes it happen, has had a turnover in almost every game to this point this year in some way.
25 yards to the end zone. Here's the handoff. Katie Jones makes a couple of quick moves, hit hard there by Brady Bierschmidt. 6-yard gain on the play.
He's a guy who's really come up and really came on like, I don't know, he's really come into his own this offseason. Had a great offseason, played wide receiver last year, had some time towards the end of the year, had a full offseason to develop at a new position at defensive back, and he's really been one of those number one guys now.
Something to talk about a little bit. They're not running it right now, but Plainsmen have been running the bare front in this game, a 4-man front, adding Colt Newman into the rotation, just, stop the high-powered Jinx running game. Second down for the Trojans, backup running back into the game, and he gets hit and pushed back. He's very close to that first down marker, but it's going to be a 3rd down and short. On the carry is Michael Wilson, the senior.
Tyson Kennedy taking him low and making sure he can't get that first down. A 3rd and short now. See if they can get a tackle for loss, maybe create a turnover, get the stop, force maybe a field goal, get off the field, get that ball back.
So this is where the men up front come into the play. This physical Jinx O-line has an opportunity here to help the running game. I assume the running game. Just a successful play from the running back. Michael Wilson still in the game for the Trojans.
Tight formation.
1 yard to go. And it's actually a play fake wide open deep down the field, and it's caught by Kai Beatty. Touchdown Trojans.
So hit him with the play fake. Looked like they were going to run that football.
Plainsmen looked like they just weren't ready for that one. From 16 yards out, Trojans take the lead 13-0.
Yeah, it just looked like they did not see that pass coming. They looked like they were expecting the run. They loaded the box to stop the run, but they came out and passed the ball and got a touchdown.
Jack Franklin to kick his second extra points of the night, and A.C. Christensen to hold. Here's a snap, the kick, and it's up and it's good. 14-0. Trojans on top. They've scored on both offensive drives. Plainsmen have gone off the field on both offensive drives. Let's see if they can pick it up on this upcoming drive.
They've gone 3 and out on both drives. Let's see if they can get some movement with the football, get something going. You got one of the best QBs in the state. Let's see if he can make something happen.
And as a junior, he is a pretty good quarterback. Last year he came in, started his first game at, was it Bixby, Hayden? Was his first start? No, because Bennett Percival came into that game.
Yeah.
It might have been Bixby, though.
Edmond North was the first game that he came in at quarterback, and he came in the second half.
But his first start was which game, though?
Yeah, I believe he started a couple weeks later for the first time at home.
Okay, I think it was more homecoming.
Yeah, more on homecoming,
yeah.
And he won that game on his first ever start. This year, he's put up some good numbers: 64 for 114, 122 yards, 8 touchdowns with 5 picks. Turnovers a little bit on the higher side, but it's air raid offense. You pass the ball a lot. You're passing it almost 30 times a game, so you expect to see a couple of mistakes here and there. It's normal. It's human, so... Let's see, maybe if he can get that number a little bit lower tonight, maybe have a lot cleaner game this week. But he's put up good numbers. He's been one of the better QBs in this state, really showing why he needs to be the starter, why he deserved to be the starter.
And he broke that single-game passing record at Ponca City with 387 yards.
Then he had high expectations.
And you know what Coach Conrad told us? He said, I really expected Robinson to throw for about 500 that game, but it didn't go as planned. He thought that the Plainsmen should have blown out the Wildcats, but that wasn't the case. Final score is 29-27. But then he said every week Robinson should be throwing around 300 to 400 yards just with the type of offense that he runs.
He was on the ballpark of 300 last week, maybe around 260. But let's see this.
Trick formation on the field. Pass through the hands of Zyron Allen. It's incomplete. It was a forward pass. Samaj Stanford thought that it might have been, backwards pass, but hey, it's good to be safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, and so one of those trick plays that they like to run, they put all the linemen over on the right side on a screen, and they give it to Allen and hope that the line can block everybody so he can just have clear room to run to the end zone. Didn't even get the catch.
Condors ran about 10 trick plays so far this year. We're only in our 4th game of the season, so that's about 2 per game if you do the statistics there.
And he said there's plenty more to come. He has plenty that he's collected over the years that he could use at any given time. His playbook is very expansive, just doesn't really use all of it.
Pass incomplete. He's looking for Jamison Washington. Coverage was decent there from Elias Cooper.
Yeah, he pushed
the senior corner.
So it was a quick slant for Washington, trying to get him the ball in short space, see if he can take it to get a lot of yak afterwards, but he jammed him on the line, able to stop his flow, so he could not get the catch.
So Kennedy comes into the game along with Mason Benton. Blaine Parks and Joshua Withy come out, so I assume they're going to have to pass the ball, obviously, on their 3rd down and long, but they like to utilize these 2 guys when they need to get downfield. Somebody we really haven't seen into the game so far tonight has been at Percival as well.
Yeah, he's been moved to tight end, as we all know this year, and he's been very, very good.
The pass is intercepted by the Trojans. Elias Cooper, we were just talking about him, out of bounds at the 11-yard line. So the first turnover of the game, obviously you're going to have a lot of turnovers with the air raid offense Coach Condor runs, but we've ran the ball a lot of times tonight, and that's just a forced pass. You can't do that.
Well, I like what he did there, though. I like that he threw the ball up to where 2 of his receivers were and gave them a chance to go up and make a play for the first down. Unfortunately, there was too many Jinx players there, so somebody was there to make the play and get the interception.
Yeah, the Jinx defensive line, they're not overly huge. They just got around the edge there, and you saw Robinson. He had to roll back immediately. Thank God he has speed, but he just had to throw that one up, hope for the best, and unfortunately he was intercepted.
Yeah, one thing to note about the edge this week, they moved Mario Hearn over to right tackle, somebody who usually plays the guard position, the shortest tackle in 6A football now, but one of the most talented.
Here's the handoff to Aiden Christensen, tackled for a loss on the field.
And Jesse Panade there to get the tackle for loss, a guy who's had to come up this year too. Used to play JV last year. Now he's a varsity starter over at corner, a shorter guy, but he absolutely is a dog on the field and plays with a lot of heart and a lot of passion.
He does, and his brother is here to watch. Dodge City JUCO player Omar Penate.
Yeah.
He was a great defensive lineman for the Plainsmen for a couple of years.
And
he's out here tonight supporting with Big E as well.
Yeah,
There's your second shout out of the season, Big E.
Yeah, we were talking to Omar before the game started, and we were talking about how he's doing in JUCO right now. He said, we're playing in one of the hardest divisions in JUCO, but we're doing pretty well right now, so he's doing great.
3:12 on the field, handoff to Katie Jones to the 10, looking for the 5. The Plainsmen get there to stop him. Big crowd of Plainsmen players get there. Somebody to note, Cody Stockup on the hit.
Our very own.
Actually, scratch that. It was Brady Bierschmidt. I thought that it looked to be 21, Cody Stockup, but it was not. But Brady's been stepping it up a little bit. We talked to Coach Connor about him. We were asking him some questions. He said Bierschmidt, he hasn't really broken out yet, but he thinks that this could be the game he breaks out. He's already had a couple of tackles so far, and maybe if not this game, then one of the upcoming games, which is at Moore next week, it could happen, or the game after that.
Talking about him earlier, he's a very talented guy. He's a guy who played wide receiver, as you know, last year. A guy that even Taike himself said could be on the come-up, somebody that could fill in his shoes when he's gone. Moved over to DB this offseason, and the rest is history. He's really been one of their number 1 guys in the secondary, apart from Tyson Kennedy. Hasn't made a whole lot of splash plays like you expect this year, but he's going to break out at some point and show that he's a star.
Katie Jones, his last carry was a 4-yard gain, and they set up in the I formation. 1 wide receiver to the left, it's Aiden Christensen.
You got to watch for the pass here like they did last time.
And they give it to Jones, it's a touchdown. Trojans take the lead 20-0 here in the first quarter with 1 minute and 59 seconds to go. And they have a chance to take a 21-point lead with extra point here.
So now the offense needs to respond in some way. Let's get something going.
So Christensen to hold, the wide receiver. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it's good. 21-0 the score here in the first quarter. Plainsmen have had 3 consecutive drives that have gone out the door. Hopefully they get it here on the 4th. I mean, no first downs yet for the Plainsmen. This Jinx defense actually playing pretty well. We haven't seen them play the best this season in their first couple of games of the year, but right now they're doing pretty good. But hey, the Plainsmen also have a young offense. They've been doing good as well this year, so
yeah,
I'd like to see the matchup on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I'd really like to see what we can do passing-wise now. We really need to open it up, pass the ball a lot more. We have a good amount of playmakers on this offensive side of the football. Blake Fuska, Carmelo Washington, Jamison Washington, Tyson Kennedy, Mason Benton even are really good wide receivers and other skill position players who can make plays with the football. We just need to see those players get a chance.
It's when you're a young team, it's kind of like warming up. When you come into games like this, you just have to get into your groove to kind of score some points. Like when you warm up in sports like tennis, golf. Obviously, I'm a tennis player, I know that. But when you're warming up, you have to get in your groove. And that's the case with this Plainsman team when you play a tough team like Jinx. They have to get into their groove to score a couple points, and that's just been the case so far, 21-0. But I think they can get in their groove here.
Yeah, they will, for sure.
Here's the kick from Jack Franklin. Another deep kick. Carmelo Washington lets it go once again.
This team is way too talented to not be able to move the ball on offense.
I'd have to agree with you, Hayden. I'd have to 100% agree with you. Aiden Robinson, as we said, he's a 2-year starter now. I guess you could say 1.5-year starter. He didn't start for about half the season last year, but he did split reps for part of the beginning part of the season.
Crazy enough, he actually started as a freshman on varsity, but has the punter.
So I guess you could call him a 4-year starter at the punter
3-year.
position. Yeah. Well, once he gets to senior, he'll be a 4-year starter.
He'll be a 4-year starter.
Yep. Not many Plainsman players have done that in their career. One of them to note is Austin Box. Tyson Kennedy will be one of them, too.
2 halfbacks in the backfield.
And they give it off to Blake Fuchs, a 3-yard gain on the play. Ref is generous there.
Another guy we didn't mention, we mention him every week though, Zaire Allen, another wide receiver, a guy who can really make spectacular catches and is able to, with his frame, can make almost any catch on the field, but besides the Ponca City game, he hasn't really seen the ball come his way too often.
Joshua Withy and Blake Fuchs, and at running back, you said we were running 2 running backs. Here's Zaire Allen, makes the spin move, but 2 men got there. And it's going to be no gain on the play. So 3rd down and 8 on the field.
Great job by him to turn something or nothing into something, though. Looked like he was going to be tackled at the line or behind it.
They gave him 1 yard on the reception, actually. 3rd down and 7 now.
So a 3rd and medium situation.
Now,
Bennett Percival coming in for the first time.
Yes, he is.
Tight end.
He's definitely a threat. I mean, when you're watching film as this Jinx defense, you have to know where Bennett Percival is on the field at all times.
A 6'4" tight end, great frame, good speed, can catch the football, take it to the house. He's made some big plays this year.
Over the middle, looking for Kennedy, too high, intercepted. The 2nd interception of the game from Aiden Robinson. Connor Thompson picks it off for the Trojans. Trojans to start in Plainsman territory. And now maybe go up by 4 scores with only 45 seconds left here in the first quarter.
When you keep the defense on the field this often, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get.
You're going to get gassed.
Stopped. Yeah, you're going to get gassed. It's going to be really hard to consistently get a stop. They're rotating some guys into the secondary now. See what they can make of it. Some of these younger, more youthful guys. Now Zarion Sanders on the D-line. He's played a lot of D-line this year so far.
We didn't hear Zarion's name. We asked Coach Condor who you're going to have in the rotation on that Bear front. He said, I'm going to have Cole Newman out there, and we'll see who else. So it looks to be Zarion Sanders. Left side, wide open. Connor Thompson, touchdown Trojans. He had the pick, now he has the touchdown.
Looked like there may have been a miscommunication in the secondary that led to him getting wide open, so he has the touchdown.
Correction, Corey Foreman with the touchdown. Connor Thompson had the interception on the previous play.
But yeah, I mean, going back to what we were talking about, when you have the defense on the field 4 or 5 times in the first quarter, they're going to get gassed pretty quickly, and they're not going to be able to consistently stop an offense like this. And it's the same that can go for Enid. If Enid had run 4 or 5 drives at the beginning of this game in the first quarter, just like Jinx did, even if they didn't score, you would naturally be gassing out that defense and being able to move the ball a lot better. So I'd like to see this offense really keep the ball for this drive, have a nice couple-minute-long drive, give your defense a breather, let them all come together, come up with a game plan for their next drive so they can try to stop this quarterback and stop this offense.
Something I think the Plainsmen are trying to do just from watching the game so far. So I think they're trying to just control the clock with the running game. But when you do that, you have to pick up a decent amount of yards on each carry. So far, they've only had about 1, 2, 3 yards. They can pick it up. We've seen Fuchster run for big amount of yards, as well as Joshua Withy, who's been in the game on the last drive. So they just need to control that clock. But right now, they need to score quick just to get back into this game here in the first half. Yeah, 38 seconds left in this first quarter. Jinx already up 28-0.
You'd like to see them utilize all their playmakers and let them get the ball in space and let them see if they can do anything with it and keep this football away from Jinx's offense. They've had it too many times so far in this game, and that's the reason why they're losing.
Jack Franklin, a kickoff for the Trojans. Looks left, looks right. Left-footed kicker approaches the football. Toe to pigskin. Another deep kick. Wow, this kid he's a good kicker. I'm not even going to lie to you, Hayden.
He's got one amazing leg.
I mean, I'd assume he's going to play at the next level, either whether that's football or soccer. I don't know if he's a soccer player, but he is a senior, so I can't remember. Was he the starter for the Trojans last year?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, he's a lefty just like me, so that's where the love's coming from, folks.
You're a lefty?
I'm a left-footed kicker, not with my hands. I'm a righty with the hands.
Did not know you kicked the ball left-footed.
I was a soccer player.
The crazy enough, I actually bat left-handed too. I've done that a couple times.
Here's the quick snap, fires left side with the incomplete. Hit his hands, low pass.
Gonzalez getting reps in at quarterback, so maybe benching Aiden after 2 interceptions, giving another guy a chance to come in and lead this offense somewhere. You wouldn't expect me to bat, though, would you? You would not want to see my swing and see how bad
I would never
it is.
expect you to even step out on that field. But you see the trend here. Last year you had Robinson and Personal splitting reps. Now Gonzalez out onto the field for his first
Maybe a little
drive.
bit of deja vu. Let's see if he can come in and get the comeback and win this game. Maybe the rest is history from there as well.
Knock on wood. Here's a snap. Second down. Fires left side. Good pass. Tyson Kennedy takes it in at the 25. He has some forward progression, so it's a 5-yard reception. It brings up a 3rd down and 5 on the field. They need to get past the 30.
I believe he was the pitcher who actually came in regionals last year and beat Jenks. Was he, or was it somebody else? But he came in regionals and got a win against somebody.
One of those guys.
Yeah, I know Cooper Jarnigan was, and of course Jake Kennedy was as well. But I believe Israel came in on one of those games, played lights out, and was able to take home regionals.
Here's a snap, 3rd down and 5. Israel has pressure on him, and he can't get anywhere. The Jinx defensive line gets past the Plainsmen offensive line, and it's a sack. It's a 4th down and long on the field. 5-yard sack from the Trojans.
What do you do?
You're just going to have to punt this football away. There's nothing else you can do. That's the end of the first quarter. They're going to flip sides of the field. They scored 28-0. Plainsmen trail by 28. The thing about Robinson and Gonzalez is they're pretty good friends. They're on the baseball team together. They play football together. So they're also they're both pitchers for the Plainsmen baseball team. Talk a little bit about that Plainsmen baseball team. I really think they're the favorite to win state this year.
Oh, yeah, they definitely might be the favorite. They've got some really good pitchers in the lineup this year after Jake committed to OSU just recently, flipped his commitment over, and they've got some talented guys. They can really run the table and win state this year. Last year, it fell into their lap almost perfectly. They had the perfect playoff seeding, played some of the best teams that they could play, ended up getting some really nice wins, rattled off a really nice win on Jinx, and just unfortunately lost to Bigsby in the final round. It just, unfortunately it happened. Some people have certain reasons for why we lost that game, but overall, Bigsby just played a really good game. Let's see if they can win it this year.
Yeah,
I really think
losing
they
only
can.
about 4 or 5 starters on their team
and
coming into this year.
And
they have a lot of seniors
Yeah.
who are very experienced. They've been playing together since Little League.
And as soon as those seniors left this year, they immediately plugged in talented guys to replace them. So they could run the table this year. They're a really exciting team to watch. Another team for us that's been exciting to watch is softball. They've been arguably the #1 softball team in the state.
In the state, yeah. Shout out to Coach Jensen to, turning that program around for the Pacers. And, of course, shout out to the girls for doing a fantastic job.
They are definitely a state contender and could easily win state. They got one of the best pitchers and one of the best catchers.
And regional is coming up soon, I believe, the end of this month. So I know we're going to cover senior night. We've been doing all the broadcasts for Pacers softball. Here's the punt from Aiden Robinson. Takes a bounce near the 45 to the 40. Out of bounds at the 28. Lucky bounces. Takes a couple of Plainsmen hops. So Jinx start with their worst field position of the night.
I believe it might be you and me who cover softball if we do. So stay tuned in for that. Let's see if we end up doing it.
Trojans to start from the left hash. They've gone 4 for 4 so far offensively.
See if this
So they
Plainsman
scored 4
offense
times.
can make sure they don't
Plainsman
go
defense, yes.
5 for 5. Another guy in on the secondary, Jaron Porter, did not get to play the first couple games this year.
Because he wasn't playing football at the time.
He wasn't playing football at the time.
I asked him, he said, my dad just said he wouldn't let me play, but now, just out of nowhere, he's like, Jaron, I'm going to let you play. So, Jaron Porter actually started his first game last season against Jinx at Allen Trimble Stadium. Right here, he's making his first debut of his senior season. Playing quarterback, he's going to be guarding Aiden Christensen for the Trojans. No, he's playing safety, actually. He's going to move back a bit.
Yeah, he told me he likes the football program. He wants to come in here and learn a lot more, get a lot stronger. He's looking forward to basketball season, too.
Christensen stays on his feet down near midfield. They actually say he went out of bounds at the 45, so they go from left hash to right hash.
Only one penalty in the first quarter, too. An improvement from last week, I'd say.
First down and 10 for the Trojans after the reception from A.C. Christensen. 2 wide receivers to the left.
Trying to get this defense to jump. They jumped multiple times against Edmond North last week.
Here's a quick fire left side to the wide receivers, out of bounds past midfield. Connor Thompson with the reception. So it looks like they're going to give him 9 yards, very short of that first down marker. It looks like they're going to measure it. Or maybe talk about the measurement on the field at least. They go from left hash to right hash, back to the left hash. First down Trojans. So move the change into Plainsman territory to the 45-yard line. They started at the 30. And they're looking to score for the 5th consecutive time. First and 10. Here's a snap. It's a handoff to the backup running back, number 6, Michael Wilson. Seems to be a power back for the Trojans, and he'll get 3 yards on the play.
So first they needed to stop Dev Matthews. Now they need to stop him, make sure he can't run the football.
.11:05 to go. Score 28-0. Trojans on top here in the first half.
Another reason why they're so hard to prepare for is because they have so many skill position players who can come and sub in that you just don't know who's going to be on the field most of the time, especially with a 2-quarterback system. You don't know which quarterback to prepare for every week.
That's the thing about Jinx. They're going to have, 60 guys in each class.
Flag on the field.
That was before the snap. They're going to have about 60 guys in each class graduating on the football team. So they have a lot of depth. Plainsmen cut that in half. I'd say they have maybe actually less than 30.
Yeah, I don't know if we quite have 30 seniors on this team this year. Last year we had about 22, 24, but this year a lot less.
I'd say probably a little under 20 this year.
We're one of the youngest, if not the youngest team in 6A.
Speaking of the 6A1 District 1, online OSSAA ranked the Trojans in the standings number 5 and Plainsman number 4. Although the Trojans have a better record than the Plainsmen, I don't know why it was ranked like that.
Yeah.
Something interesting just to know. Here's a tight formation once again for Jinx.
Maybe a little bit of extra motivation for Jinx coming into this game.
It could be. It's a wing T formation. Handoff first down He'll get 3 on the play, all the way to the 34. Michael Wilson on the carry once again for Jinx. So they move the chains, keep this drive going. And they're looking to score once again. Plainsmen in need of a stop if they want to stay in this one here early on in the second quarter.
They just have not been able to force any third down situations. They've let this ball get moved with ease, so they haven't been comfortable enough to be able to get that stop. Trips to the bottom here, 2 to the top. Another one of those empty formations.
14 yards away from the red zone. Here's Owen Jones. Pressure's on him. Evades the pressure. Flag down to the 30. Looking to get outside. And he'll just flip over at the 30.
Got helicopter flipped, but he had somebody wide open in the middle of the field. Maybe he just didn't see him, wasn't able to get it there, tucked it himself.
And as you said, flag down on the field. It's at the 39-yard line. So flag is on the Trojans, going to move him back just a bit.
Travis Given with the call. Head ref tonight.
Some scores around the state. Moore at Westmore. Tied up all at 10. The Moore Wars looking to be a close one so far here in the second quarter. UConn at Mustang, third-ranked. Broncos, 7-21. Mustang on top. Edmond North at Norman. Edmond North on top, 14-6. Jinx at Enid, 28-0. We are here for that one. I'll give some more as we go on later throughout the night. First and what seems to be very long for the Trojans. Empty backfield, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Owen Jones at quarterback. Plainsman drop 5. Jones steps back. Quick fire, right side, and it's taken in by Elias Cooper. He gets the first down, cuts back in field, down inside the red zone. They're going to say he's down at the 18.
Another red zone trip for the Trojans. See if Enid can get a stop. Would be much needed, would be a huge confidence booster for this defense as well. .8:55 to play.
Ball on the 18. They have 18 yards to go to the end zone to go up by 5 scores. Plainsman scoreless so far. They need a stop right here.
Another different formation.
Hand off, Katie Jones has the speed. Gets all the way to the 5. Some more scores around the state. Edmond Memorial, Edmond Santa Fe. Edlam 0-12. Santa Fe Wolves on top. Sophomore at Broken Arrow. BA so far beating the Rocks off. The SaberCats 24-0. Owasso at Union, arguably the biggest game of the week. 8-7. Owasso on top by just 1 point on the road. Norman North at Bixby 17-0. Spartans on top.
Owasso has been kind of surprisingly good this year. I don't think anybody expected them to play as good as they have. They're always a good team, but they've been a lot better than before.
They really have.
Yeah,
even with losing Cole Adams to Alabama,
they've played
still a great team.
Amazing this year to this point. That is another team that Enid beat last year in the playoffs in baseball. Funny enough, we were at that game.
We were at that game to broadcast. Cody Stockham was on the call. Me and Hayden Clark on the camera operating side. Kennedy Graves directing. Shout out to you. You hear the knock right next to me. Here's the handoff to the Samaj Stanford, the freshman. What do they say? They say he's just short of the end zone.
Yeah, just in case anyone was wondering, we do our time on camera just like everyone else.
So 7:26, clock will stop. 28-0, Trojans knocking on the door. Here, very close to the end zone. Actually, no, they say it was a touchdown. I'm sorry. I did not see the hands go in the air. That's my bad. Christensen with the hold. Here's the kick from Franklin. It's good.
So after another touchdown run, Enid going to get the ball back. Had some time to rest up, talk it over with Condor and the other offensive staff.
So we had some festivities here tonight at our second home game of the season, the district opener. We had the Band Queen festivities going on, and elementary night. They ran out. They led the Plainsmen team out of the tunnel.
You know, down 35 points. You know, you'd usually think that this team would be out of it. This team doesn't think they can get back into it. Just a couple years ago, as we talked about earlier, against PC West in 2017, a 35-point fourth quarter comeback. Not game comeback. In just the fourth quarter, they put up 35 points to take it to overtime and ended up winning it in double overtime. I'm not saying they will, but it's not impossible. It can happen.
It definitely can happen.
You know, any given Friday. In high school, in the case it's high school.
You look at the screen there. There's Tyke Andrews, Oklahoma State wide receiver. He was a Plainsman wide receiver last year on the 2022 squad. He was practice player of the week 2 weeks ago for the Cowboys.
You went up to that OSU game. You know, maybe not going to talk
about. How was that game?
I'm not going to talk about the score of that game, but let's just say that the seats were really nice. You know, had a good time there for the half that I was there. Olive Garden was great, too.
Former Enid player Lincoln Sefcik, the tight end, made a lot of plays for South Alabama. Here's the kick. Mason Benton will pick it up.
Yeah, I remember watching in the first quarter. He had about 3 catches that went for 10-plus yards. He was playing automatic when he got the ball in the game and multiple really nice catches. I think he may have had almost 100 yards on that game in total. I wasn't there for the second half, but, you know, he played very well.
Yeah, Sefcik had an interview with CTV Sports about that game just because he's a former Enid player. And they talked to him about that game, and he's the team captain for the Jaguars. So it's good to see, you know, former Plainsman doing great.
Yeah, he used to be an Oklahoma State fan when he was a kid, and he ended up getting to go to Oklahoma State and get a win there. So it must have felt surreal for him.
First down and 10 on the field from the 25-yard line. Motion Tyson Kennedy, Clayton Rowland in the game at running back. Play fake Robinson back in the game. It's to Camarlo Washington, and he can't get anywhere, actually lose 4 yards.
Late hit when he got on the ground. Surprised he didn't call anything.
Kind of slipped on the turf there. He was too excited to just cut up field, and that's what happens. You catch the ball, you're like, oh, here's my opportunity. You can slip on the field just from trying to speed things up.
I'm glad he didn't get injured there. One thing we've seen a lot in football over the past couple weeks, a lot of really devastating injuries, especially in the pros right now. One of the big injuries we saw, obviously, Nick Chubb. Fortunately, completely destroyed his knee and leg, hoping for a speedy recovery there. But
here's the pass, incomplete through a Trojan D lineman hands.
Trying to
number 31 Hudson Bell with the tip. He's looking for a reverse screen pass.
Yeah, I was about to say he was looking for that screen to the running back Roland, just not able to get it there. Got batted on the line. So another
third down and long for the Plainsmen.
Another big third down.
They practiced this a lot this week. Their third down situations, obviously we said this earlier, the third down in shorts, the third down in longs, and the third down in mediums. So we'll see how much that comes into play right here. 2 wide receivers each side. Clayton Rowland still in the game at running back.
They're definitely going to throw the football here. Let's see who they get it to and how they do it.
Motion Tyson Kennedy for the second time this drive. They look for Kennedy. He caught it. Didn't quite get the first down, but he gets hit very hard.
Very close to a first down, so let's see if they go for it.
From here, it looks like he got it. They move the chains. The first down of the night for the Enid Plainsmen.
Designed to him, put him on the rollout, worked the middle of the field with him. He had an amazing catch, got hit really hard at the end. Good first down. Take it.
Indeed, 6:24 to go here in the first half. 5-score game. Plainsmen looking to make it a 4-score game. Over the middle, incomplete. Looks for Kennedy again in double coverage.
Maybe even triple coverage. Tried to fit it into a really tight window.
I mean, that Palms coverage, it's hard to...
Yeah, it's hard to exploit.
It's hard to, just execute against that defense. Something the Trojans do wrong.
Yeah, they run just so many formations on offense, and they run one of the hardest coverages to beat in Palms coverage, so they're really hard to game prep against.
Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Trojans look to send pressure here. They move Fuchs to the left side from the right. Robinson making some pre-snap adjustments.
Washington all alone on the bottom.
They motion over Blaine Parks and a timeout on the field from the Plainsmen.
Didn't like what they were seeing, perhaps.
So we're going to give some more score updates. It could be the same. 19-0. Edmond Santa Fe gets Edmond Memorial at home. Wolves still on top. Owasso at Union. Union takes the lead 14-8. As we said, pretty much the game of the week in 6A1. Edmond North at Norman 14-6. Score remains the same. Broken Arrow adds 3 to their lead they have. Now it's 31-0 against Sophomore. Yukon at Mustang 7-21. Jinx at Enid 35-0. Norman North at Bixby 25-0. So they score another touchdown. Get the 2-point conversion to go. Tied up at 10 still for the Moore Wars. Moore at Westmore. So back onto the field now after the timeout. Plainsmen have a second down and 10 yards to go on the field from their own 35-yard line. Last year, the meeting between these two teams, 2022 Jinx versus Enid, 28-55 the loss. And as we said, Plainsmen were within a touchdown at one point in the third quarter. It's a handoff to Blake Fuchsa. He'll get 1 yard.
Yeah, they were really fighting it in the third quarter, playing really well. Looked like we may have come in there and put up a fight against them and really showed them what we could do. But in that fourth quarter, just kind of fell apart a little bit, allowed way too many points, couldn't do anything on offense to match what Jinx was doing. And that's kind of been the theme so far tonight. They just really haven't been able to match the offensive production that Jinx has had. And with this talent of an offense, you expect a lot more.
Well, let's hope they can get something going here on third down and long. Here's the snap. Left side, incomplete.
Man,
Tyson Kennedy just had a mental error, hits his hands, unfortunately falls incomplete. So fourth down. Plainsmen come off the field once again.
Man, a guy who I'm so surprised has not seen the ball yet in this first half is Bennett Percival. He was wide open.
I mean, if you really think about it, we haven't really been in the red zone at all.
No, we just saw him wide open in the middle of the field. And he just hasn't seen the ball come his way yet today. A big body target like him, you'd expect them to really take advantage of that.
Aiden Robinson takes the snap. Boots it right side. Smosh Stanford just lets it go around the 25-yard line.
This is a great kick.
So if you look at the Plainsmen's score so far this season, at Muskogee they lost 27-49. Won at Ponca City 29-27. Lost here last week at homecoming against Edmond North 27-42. So they are averaging 27 points per game.
Scored 27 points in every single game.
Well, no, not every single game. Ponca City 29, but they're averaging 27 points per game. That's the point I'm trying to make. That 2022 team also did average 27 points per game as well.
Yeah, just allowing way too many points defensively. Just
defensively,
gotta clean that up, but part of that isn't completely their fault. It kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, defensively they're allowing 39 points per game so far, which really isn't far off from last year's 36 points per game.
And this defense is also super, super young and inexperienced, so you can't really blame them for struggling against some high-tier offenses like Muskogee and Jinx.
They have 6 men on the line, but they drop 2 in a reverse play. Here's Aiden Christensen trying to get to the corner, to the 35, to the 40, and hit out of bounds from Jamison Washington.
Trying to go with a little bit of trickery, flipping it on the formation.
He gets the first down pickup, 12-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, he was looking end zone, ended up getting stopped, but he got the first down first on that end around. Just speaking on this defense, allowing almost 40 points per game so far this year, much like the defense from last year, but I mean, you can really excuse a lot of the miscues that they've had. This team isn't really all that experienced and matured like most defenses are, and they're playing some of the most high-powered offenses in the state.
Here's the pass. It's tipped, and it's almost intercepted. It was near Holden Bellil, but I didn't see who got their hands on it. The Plainsman defensive lineman knocked that one down.
Like Maddox Hayes almost had the interception, just couldn't come down with it.
Speaking of Holden Bellil, he had a heck of a game against Ponca City on the road.
2 forced fumbles on that game.
2 forced fumbles. Was it 7 or 9 tackles or 8? something around there.
Around that.
It was around that, but
Yeah,
the 2 forced fumbles, way to go. As a junior, his first game starting, obviously Brenton Combs was hurt that game, and he didn't really come in much until the fourth quarter. So Holden, he played a very good game.
He made the most of the time that he went in at, and he made a lot of really spectacular plays. He's somebody who's also made a huge transformation in the offseason, gotten a lot stronger and a lot faster.
Pass incomplete there from Owen Jones.
Flag on the field.
He's looking for his wide receiver, number 22. And a flag down at the 37 here on the near side.
This defense just putting the pieces together, as you're seeing on this drive, they're holding this Jinx offense pretty well, but just some inconsistencies.
Just when you get to the third downs, that's when they're converting.
Well, Jinx isn't even having to face any third downs. They're not really facing any issues because this defense is letting up 4 or 5 yards every play.
Well, it's going to be a replay of second down here, so it's going to be second down and long for the Trojans.
You want to force this offense to do things they don't want to do. Force them to, have those third downs in, long yard situations where they really have to move the ball, like this, where they're backed up because of a penalty. You want to take advantage of opportunities like this, take advantage of their mistakes. That's what they've done. They've generated points off of both of Enid's turnovers. See if we can get something with their mistakes.
So it's actually third down and long. So 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go here in the first half, 35-0. Trojans may get off the field for the first time offensively here. Owen Jones steps back, decides to use his legs. Goes towards the middle of the field, tries to stiff arm Kennedy, and he gets dragged down by Kennedy down near the 45. Still in their own territory, but it's going to be a third down and long. And they bring the punt team out. So Plainsmen get their first stop defensively.
Maybe a little bit of a motivation booster.
For sure, it definitely is.
Definitely boosts your confidence when you get a stop, especially right now when you haven't stopped them the last couple drives.
I mean, as a player, if you just keep getting scored on over and over,
you're going to get frustrated.
You're going to get frustrated, and it leads to mental errors, and it just can make that happen more. But when you stop them, that's a good thing.
This Enid team is really good at not letting that pressure and frustration get to them, though.
Something you've seen just in the offseason that they got better at.
Yeah, they're calm.
And I'd give kudos to Coach Connor for that one.
Yeah, he's really made this team a lot more calm, cool, and collected. They don't really they're not fazed by this 35-0 lead. They're not fazed by that. They know that this offense is high-powered enough to match what Jinx is doing right now and score on a couple straight drives.
They're a young team, but they're a mature team.
Yeah,
that's definitely for sure.
They're a young team, but they're a very smart team. They have a really smart coach as well.
Plainsmen start at their own 15-yard line. 85 yards to go to the end zone from the left hash. First down and 10, have to get past the 25.
If this offensive line can hold and take control of this Jinx defensive line, they're going to have a really good night from here on out.
Joshua with the end of the game here for the Plainsmen. They're in the 21 personnel set. One wide receiver to each side. A little bit of throwback. Looks like that Rashawn Woods offense, but Eddie Robinson to roll right. Maybe some miscommunication. Slings it, looks for Washington. Did he catch that? No, it's incomplete. Hits the ground. Hard angle to see from where we're standing at, but it looks like he may have caught that one, but it seems to drop dead incomplete. Let's give a shout out to, the band, student section, Palm Cheer, the rest of the broadcasting crew, just everybody involved in, tonight's game.
Everybody's doing
including
a
the
great
football
job
team,
tonight.
obviously, but
including our sideline reporters too this week.
Yeah, 2 sideline cameras, 1 sideline reporter, Tiffany Chavez, making her debut tonight.
Eric Hill, one of the main people down on sideline camera. Shout out to him.
Here's the pass, too low. He's looking for Washington again on the out route, incomplete.
Trying to work him on the outside, giving him an out route a chance to get a nice catch for a couple yards, bring up a 3rd and short situation. Had to dive for it. It was too low. Couldn't get it in.
Jamison Washington comes out of the game for the Plainsmen. Carmelo Washington comes into the game for the Plainsmen. The Cousins do a switch right there.
Very talented duo.
Very talented family.
Very talented family in general, yeah. They're very fast. Both of them very good on both sides of the ball. Both of them play a lot in the secondary as well as wide receiver. Jamison Washington plays a little more than Carmelo, but both of them are pretty equal in talent.
Pass was intended for Zaire Allen, incomplete, too high, out of bounds on the far side. So 4th down and 10 for the Plainsmen. They just really couldn't get it going on that drive, unfortunately, but hopefully they pick it up next time.
Yeah,
3:52 on the clock here in the first half.
They'll definitely get it next drive.
35-0. Plainsmen did stop them for the first time on defense.
Robinson,
They stopped the Trojans for the first time, so that's a plus for tonight.
even though Robinson's had to punt the ball too many times tonight, he's done a great job when he has to give this team good field position.
Punt almost blocked, but he gets it off. Samaj Stanford back to receive. He's just going to let it bounce. Takes a good amount of Plainsmen, bounces all the way to the 30-yard line to start for the Trojans.
So punt almost gets blocked, but still gets past midfield over to the 30. So 70 yards to go.
They may slow it down here on this drive. They've been just up-tempo. They have been huddling up a little bit tonight, but they've been up-tempo at times. So they have 3 minutes. Maybe they just want to slow this clock down, score to end the first half.
Yeah, maybe they just let the clock wind down and go into the half with this lead. Either way, you're going into the half with a comfortable lead.
And then going into the third quarter, we hope to just see some improvement. We scored 14 points in the third, something Coach Connor said was a big talking point for, this week's game. And I think they can do it. Here's a quick pass. Aiden Christensen caught it to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Outside to midfield, to the 45, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. Hit hard out of bounds by Tyson Kennedy.
Yeah, you saw
So
Kennedy.
big gain for the Trojans.
Kennedy running down the sideline ready to absolutely
Just
lay the
with
boom
fumes,
on him.
fumes
Yeah.
in both ears.
Hit him hard. I believe from up here you could see the smoke coming out of his ears in frustration and anger. Not having the game that he would expect scoreboard-wise.
Yet to see a turnover from the defense. They usually get a turnover in the first half in every game.
Almost had one last drive on that near interception on the tip pass, though. So they're on the come-up. They're getting close.
That 2-year turnover streak is still alive for this Plainsman defense. Here's the handoff to Katie Jones to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. And he's knocked down inside the 10 to the 8.
Getting the first down. So if they score here, though, Enid gets another chance to score before the end of the half. And then they would have to stop Jinx at the beginning of the half when they get the ball.
Yes, Plainsmen are kicking the ball off to start the second. They're going to have to stop them defensively pretty quick, get the ball back and score. They do that a couple more times if they want to stay in this one. Right now, the Jinx Trojans are sitting at the 8-yard line for first down and goal. Here is Jones. Takes the hit, spins down at the 2.
Great stop. Making sure he doesn't score. You'd really love to see a goal line stop here. Always fun to see those. I remember a couple years ago a Seahawks-Patriots game back when Cam Newton was a Patriot, oddly enough. In that game when they played each other, Seahawks actually won on a goal line stop where they stopped Cam Newton when he tried to run the ball for a touchdown.
I'm going to touch back on some goal line stands after this play. Second down and goal from the 2 for the Trojans. Here's the motion from Connor Thompson. Hand off to Katie Jones, looking to get inside, and he does. Touchdown, Jinx. That brings the score to 41-0. Plainsmen trail Jinx to kick the extra point.
That was one of my favorite goal line stops. Random, but it was one of the best games that year, and it was one of the best endings. It's one that comes to memory.
So my favorite goal line stop, 2013 Bedlam at Stillwater.
I knew you were going to say
started
OU
at the
football.
1-yard line. OSU did. Plainsmen not Plainsmen, sorry. Sooners just stopped them 4 times in a row. But here's the PAT from Jack Franklin. Hold. Kick is up. Kick is good.
How come I knew you were going to talk about OU football before you even said it?
Just who I am. Score 42-0. Jinx stays with the lead here in the first half. 2:10 to go in the half. And Hayden, you got a halftime interview coming up here soon.
Yeah, got a halftime interview coming up with Dr. Darrow. So Quadruple D will be in the house for the interview today.
So it's Dudley.
Dr. Dudley Dwayne Darrow.
Dwayne, that's what it is.
That's Dwayne. We found out just last week when he said so.
So he'll be up here with you. I know you guys can have a good time.
Yeah.
We got a message from Mr. Liddell to start halftime. Just about some things going on, some previous events and some upcoming things.
Yeah, before the game started, we ran your guys' Red Zone report this week. Coming up next week, the Big Blue report with me and our very own Eric Hill. So stay tuned for that.
The
It's gonna
first
be
ever,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Franklin a kick from the 40-yard line. Back deep to receive Blake Thompson and Carmelo Washington for the Plainsmen. Some score updates around the state. 14-12. Norman still trails in this game, but only by 2 points. Memorial at Santa Fe, 25-0. Memorial is losing. Franklin to approach the football. It's a squib kick, takes a bounce at the 20, and Plainsmen pick it up at the 15. Some other scores around the state. Southmore at Broken Arrow, 45-0. Norman North at Bixby, 39-0. Spartans still on top in that one. And out of the most hyped up game this week, Owasso at Union, 21-8. Redhawks on top. Moore at Westmore. Moore gets a touchdown. They take the lead 17-10. That's a big one. And then Yukon at Mustang, a District 2 matchup. Mustang winning that one 35-7. Something interesting about Mustang this year. They have that viral quarterback who's ambidextrous. He throws with the right arm and the left arm. He went viral on TikTok.
Can do it all.
Yeah. He's projected to be maybe 3-4 star, is what I heard. So something interesting.
No
for
knock
the
on
Broncos.
his game, but I mean, being ambidextrous. I mean, does it really change much for you as a quarterback, talent-wise? Does it really change how much you can do offensively?
I don't know.
That'd be my question.
2-yard gain there from Blake Fuchsa for the Plainsmen. 2nd down and 8 upcoming.
I'd ask, how does it change your offense to be able to throw the ball left and right? Does it make your offense more dynamic? Well, I mean, what does it do?
I just think you'll be able to get certain throws off that you wouldn't be able to as a lefty or a righty. Just when you're scrambling and you're rolling out, which I know he does that a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, it could be like that. Who knows?
here's the pass over the middle. He's looking for Lane Slater. He caught it. It's a first down to the 35-yard line. Lane Slater with his first varsity reception.
What a catch. It looked like it was almost intercepted. Gave him a chance. He was able to come down with it and get a couple yards after the slant catch.
The sophomore for the Plainsmen, Lane Slater, cousin of Brock and Reese Slater. Both were previously Plainsmen football players. Reese was a safety and Brock was a wide receiver on last year's team.
Yeah, Brock was one of the better wide receivers on last year's team as well. Reese, one of the best people in the secondary at the safety position when he played as well. See if Lane can be that guy as well.
Here's a handoff to Blake Fuchsa. Gets to the 35.
He's
And he's going to get a 4-yard gain.
He's a quite young receiver. I believe one of the youngest on varsity. Come in. Been
Just at least in the rotation, yes.
Yeah, in the rotation, he's been one of the younger guys there, and you know, he's made a couple. He's been around, been able to make a couple nice blocks, and finally getting his first varsity catch.
But the youngest rotational player is Keon Young, the freshman, throwing about 85 miles per hour as a pitcher for baseball. So he's also a great wide receiver. So I'd assume maybe some years in the future, Coach Connor could utilize just how he has an arm with some trick plays. Just give him a backwards pass.
Utilize both of these
flicker,
guys.
yeah.
You know, Lane Slater, a great route runner. So let's see if he can continue to develop those two young guys into stud wide receivers.
So another handoff to Fuchsa, and now it's 3rd down, 4 yards to go at the 41-yard line. Plainsmen looking to get a first down on this drive. Haven't been very successful here recently, but hopefully they can do it right here. Here's the snap. Robinson steps back, looks for Keon Young. He caught it, gets the first down, holds on to the football into Jinx territory.
Just talking about him, unfortunately, the end of the half, but what a catch on his part.
Way to play pitch and catch on the field. That's junior to freshman, both baseball players for a Plainsman baseball team. So that's the end of the first half. The score 42-0. Plainsman trailing here. They're going to kick off to the Trojans to start the second half. Hayden, just give me the rundown. What do you think? What were you thinking, at least in the first half?
This offense has started kind of slow. They've been able to they've gone 3 and out the first couple drives, started to move the ball a little bit. You know, coming into the second half, they're one of the lesser third quarter teams in 6A, but I expect them to try to have one of the biggest third quarters and second halves of their lives. Hopefully get back into this game. You're down 42-0, but no pressure. No pressure at all. You can come in there. We've obviously seen huge comebacks just a couple years ago, as we were talking about that 35-point fourth quarter comeback, so it's not impossible. It's not over yet. Just don't feel intimidated. Don't be pressured by this lead. You want to come out there. You just want to play a clean game. You want to do your thing. You want to just don't let this get in your heads.
Yeah, our main focus this week was definitely just to prepare for that third quarter. And I know Coach Connor is just going to say to his team, hey, we got to play better third quarter. Obviously, the first half didn't go the way we wanted it to. Let's turn it around the second half, especially the third quarter. They only scored 14 points all year in the third quarter. So we're going to see how it goes coming out of the gates. Hayden's got his halftime interview with Dr. Darrow. He's in the booth right now. And I'm going to be signing off for a little bit. I'll be back maybe the third quarter. We'll see how long Dr. Darrow stays.
We'll be back after a message from Mr. Liddell.
Greetings, Pace and Plainsmen family. Heck of a game again this evening. Little halftime action. We've been able to celebrate Band Queen Night for the Big Blue Band. That's a special evening always. And then also it's elementary night tonight. So all the young pups coming around, we sure hope they keep coming out to cheer on the Plainsmen, not only this evening, but our next 2 home games as well. As we host football tonight, we've also had a volleyball tournament all day in our new gym. Pacers Volleyball, we're having a successful day, and that'll also spill into tomorrow, Saturday, and we've got them in a good situation as they compete all day, host teams from all over the state. It's really special to get to do that and having our awesome gym. It is fantastic. Huge piece of our puzzle for this week of going on at Enid. We have every student with their ID in their possession now, which is fantastic for our safety measures. Now that does mean some more accountability for our students because they're in a situation where they ultimately have to bring their ID with them every day. My line to the students is often, hey guys, you brought your phone with you today, didn't you? So put your ID beside you and remember to bring it each time. Anytime a student does not have it, our new process is going to be they will report to the welcome centers and they'll get a temporary ID sticker made for them, and then they'll go on the list with Miss Ryan, and when they hit the 3rd time of that, they'll have a new card printed for them. Anytime a student is missing theirs, as in they really can't find it, not just they've not brought it with them for the day, see Miss Ryan in room 202. She is fantastic. She takes care of all our kids. And again, this all comes back to our safety and 100% ensuring that we know who everyone is going around the building and our students take care of business. Most of our kids are all over this and really doing an amazing job. We want to celebrate that and keep making it better. Going to take you on a little bit of a tour just now. We're getting to that spot. We're 5 weeks into school now. That's pretty exciting. I believe the young freshmen have made it that far. Seniors, we're really getting moving along. Things are going. That means that we get kind of pretty quickly, we've got parent-teacher conferences coming up. It's almost like a midway check-in through the semester. And with those parent-teacher conferences, that's a couple of weeks. It's not this Monday, it's not the following, but the Monday after that, Monday, October 9th, we huddle all of our teachers in the cafeteria. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for the families who need to come in and visit with multiple teachers. We do that on the Monday night. The Tuesday night, we will actually be back in teachers' classrooms. So if you need it to be a little more private, we can do that. Although on the 9th, we can pull and go into rooms as we need to. But from there, that allows a couple of really cool different opportunities for our families. On Tuesday the 10th, we've got a great plan. For the senior families, we've got 2 things going on. FAFSA night, okay, that's for financial aid, which is going to become a state requirement. All of our seniors have done that. So we want everyone to sign up. There's a FAFSA information night. We will have a few different versions of this, but that night is going to be great because our counsellors are going to help all senior families get signed up, get an account, so that when that portal opens, they're ready to go and they're right on top of everything. We will also have Herf Jones for caps and gowns and senior announcements. The guy, our guy Bruce Bean, will be here that night, visit with families. He's amazing, he's full of energy, and he takes care of all of our students' needs. So exciting times for seniors. So that'll make that really a cool time to come and check in for not only with teachers to get grades, but also to get some other critical information, and that's for seniors. For all other grade levels, come visit with the students. Bring your student along, visit with the teachers, and then we can see exactly where everyone's at and maybe where everyone needs help. It takes a village. It takes all hands on deck to support our students to be the most successful that they can be. Talking of that, if you're not on Parent Portal yet, we implore, we truly encourage, whatever I need to do, please families come and get on Parent Portal. Come up to the school, ask for Miss Waldrop. If she's not available, ask for Miss Penny in the main office, and between those two ladies, they will get you taken care of for your own private sign-in for your student, and you'll have access to all of their grades, all of their assignments and what they're doing and how they're doing, and also for their attendance. Those things are critical. If you have not put in those attendance notes, this is the last week to get those in, because once we go past October 1, everything freezes for what we can report to the state. So if you've got any outstanding notes, whether it's from the doctor, whether it's from counselling, hopefully not, but maybe a funeral, anything that can verify why the student was out, please turn those into the offices this week. That is critical that we get that done. From there, we're then in a situation where there's some really cool pieces that go forward and that match up right in with the Parent Portal, and we're set to where our students have access to tutoring. Beginning that first week of October, we will have Tuesdays and Thursdays after school tutoring in English and in math with high school teachers. Then Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be peer tutoring through Mr. McKinney's program with National Honor Society. And we also already have peer tutoring going on in the morning with Mr. McKinney's program from 7:45 to 8:30. So both before school and after school, with teachers in office hours, with teachers for math and English after school, our Mr. McKinney's crew every morning, Monday through Friday, and also peer tutoring in the afternoons of Mondays and Wednesdays. Students have the opportunity to come and be involved. There's a little hangout time as well. He's got air hockey tables and a foosball table, table tennis, some really cool pieces, but that's to hook the students. But to earn that, they've got to work on their assignments. They've got to get the work that they need help in. Last piece of that, with his leadership group Mr. McKinney has in first hour, we're also set to where before school and even into first hour, we have a writing lab. That writing lab is a center where students can come to get assistance in writing their essays and writing their free responses, maybe some short answers that they have. If they need any help with writing, we have all hands on deck with both peers and also Mr. McKinney, who teaches our journalism and our yearbook, and he's an special English teacher. Amazing opportunity to support our students, so please take advantage of that. Upcoming soon, I have a crew that, and any student who's interested can certainly visit with me, Principals Advisory Council. That committee gets together about once a month, sometimes a little more frequently, and they guide me with the students' ideas and thoughts and the hot topics on campus, so we can visit through those and work towards the best solutions that we can come up with. We'll be having that into next week, so we're excited to get that group together. Anyone with interest, give me a holler. Events going on, we've got softball senior night this Tuesday. We're then set to where we have home volleyball, both volleyball and softball, both on the Thursday. We also have a home cross-country meet. We only get those usually once a year. This year we've got two. So Thursday night, home cross-country meet. If you can get out and cheer on the Plainsmen Plainsmen, they've been working really hard and doing very well. So awesome chance to come and cheer our kids on. Then, giving you a little heads up ahead of time, band have the Tri-State marching the following Saturday, the 30th, and the morning parade is 10 a.m. downtown, in the afternoon we're at Selby Stadium, and it's just giving you a little heads up that that's coming, and I know that's not this Saturday the 23rd, but the following Saturday the 30th. But really cool to have on your radar, get a chance to come out and support the Big Blue Band. Guys, amazing things going on around our school. We appreciate everyone's support. We hope you keep coming and helping us every way that you can. And we just love it, and we keep taking care of our kids. As always, guys, have a great week. Go Big Blue.
Greetings and welcome back here for the halftime report. Here today we've got Dr. Dudley Darrow as usual. How's it going this week?
Hey, it's been a good week. It's been a real good week.
Been a really busy week as well. Had a lot to do. Had a volleyball tournament start today. Enid going in, getting the win against Ponca City. They've got another game tomorrow to end the tournament. Doing very well. Let's see how they do tomorrow. Had softball this week, and now we have the game this week. Had some festivities before the game with Band King and Queen. Got some field goals here, as you can see.
That's Shay Mercer. That's our Coolidge principal. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, look at her. She just
booted that. She booted it right through there. That's from the 10.
About a 20-yard field goal.
So here comes Mr. Liddell. No, everything you said is right. It's been a busy week. Fall is busy. But in 3 weeks, fall break.
A
Mr.
breather.
Liddell, oh, man, never a doubt.
He's automatic.
I would like to say that if those guys would get hurt, that's not workman's comp, okay? Mrs. Mercer, she's our Coolidge principal. I was over there this week. And obviously Mr. Liddell's our high school principal. And now the band's setting up for their performance. I have not seen this full performance yet, so I'm really excited about that. So they got all their props up and their color guards setting up, so it's always exciting.
So tonight, we had a football game, obviously. Everybody knows that. But not quite going our way so far in this first half. But what did you see in this first half that you really liked from them?
Well, I think you got to start with Jinx. I mean, they're just a really good football team. And that's what good football teams do. They didn't turn the ball over. They don't get a lot of penalties. They just play football, and sometimes it might be a little boring because they just can hand that ball off and run right at you. But anyways, you got to tip your hat off to Jinx. They're not shooting themselves in the foot either. You know what I mean? So, and they're putting a lot of pressure on us, which in turn makes us make bad decisions, which causes 3 and outs, which causes interceptions. And again, they're a really good football team, and they have been a really good football team for the better part of 30 years. So credit goes to them.
Both of these teams are really similar to each other, though. Really good, high-powered offenses that can move the ball in that short, intermediate passing game. They run the ball efficiently with their quarterback and their running back, of course. And they've both got really gritty, tough defenses who can make plays. But the difference in this game has been execution. Jinx obviously executed very well, put up over 40 points in the first half. Enid, not been quite able to execute quite like they have, but the second half, let's see if they can clean up on those errors and have a clean second half, have a big third quarter. Obviously, they haven't had a big third quarter yet this year, only 14 points all year long, but they're on the cusp. They're a team that could break out at any time.
Yeah, you're right. They certainly do. Volleyball, I missed the game today. By the time I got over there, they were just getting finished up, but I think Coach Watts told me the first game's at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Are you guys by chance covering in the volleyball?
I believe we are streaming the volleyball game all day long, but no commentary for that, unfortunately, but we do have coverage for it.
Gotcha. Yeah. They got both courts going. In the gym, it's able to cut off, the north side and the south side, and they had it packed. I mean, it was going.
Yeah, I was walking by there a couple times today, and by the time I walked out by 6th and 7th hour, the gym was packed.
Yeah,
there was everybody there. There was so many people there that they had to have some volleyball teams eat outside and hang out there. I walked out there to leave after my EHS Works class, and there was just a group of volleyball girls out there eating and hanging out with each other. It was just that packed in there.
Yeah, that's funny. There's the band getting lined up. They will be performing here pretty quickly. Marching season is right here upon us. I listened to them last weekend at the Cherokee Strip Parade. They always sounded good. Love the Big Blue Band. Got a good amount of kids out, too, which is awesome.
Got a really great band. We have a really great drum line, too. Something that is one of the highlights of the band.
Oh, yeah, drum line, color guard. Like I said, those props are new this year. And always enjoy, we take such pride in our band, Big Blue Band, year after year. They always put on an excellent performance.
Another team that's performing excellently this year is softball. Heading into regionals, they've been one of the best teams in the state. They've beaten off really good teams like Stillwater, and, heading into regionals, they might be expecting to go all the way to state.
I think I told you this one time during a halftime interview. Coach Jensen told me that they have Pacer softball has only made it to state one time in the history of the program, only one time, and that's their goal for this group of seniors. See, that group of girls he's got right now, Cameron Patterson, Besnicek, some of those other girls. That's the original group of freshmen that he started with when he took the job over. So he's had them for 4 years, and they've had a fun year every time I get to watch. I think we've got a home game Tuesday. I think that's senior night. And that might be the last home game. But Coach Jensen's got them rolling, and he's really built up a great program. And obviously, you're right. They've really had a great fall thus far, and hopefully they can keep it going into regionals and get to the next level with state.
Yeah, senior night next week on the 28th. This team has had a really good turnaround over the last couple years. You got to credit Coach Jensen with the turnaround that they've made, especially with this team that he started with when they were freshmen. They've really grown and developed heavily. They've got 2 really good players, Chloe Robinson, Caitlin Bezichek. Both of them are college commits now. They're both super talented. They've got really great seniors who all have a great connection with each other. One thing that this softball team really is known for is how much energy they have, their personalities. They're a very exciting team to watch, and they're very exciting to see how they communicate with each other and how they treat each other.
I totally agree. They have been a lot of fun. Let's go to a little college football. You talked about that on the break. What are you thinking this weekend?
Well, hopefully OU can go into Cincinnati tomorrow and get the job done. A lot of people actually think Cincinnati is going to win that game, and I think that's kind of crazy. I think it's a crazy take. OU is a very good football team this year, and I think they're going to go in and take care of business.
They play at 11 o'clock, is that right?
I believe so.
I think you're right.
As usual. And Oklahoma State, I went to the game last week. I was there against South Alabama.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was gone by the second quarter.
Oh, man, that was so you were there.
Mm-hmm. I was there up in a seat with my friend Blake Allen up near the front. We got hooked up with great tickets from somebody there, so shout out to Jerry there. I know he may never see this, but he was a really good guy, able to hook us up with nice tickets, and just a little bit of a disappointing game. Couldn't really move the ball on offense at all.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment much on OSU football because somebody might be listening to me right now, and I don't want to say anything that I might regret. So it was definitely disappointing as an alumni. That's definitely disappointing. So there you go. That's what I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there. I heard a pretty cool rumor.
Which is?
I heard tonight that we have a lot of Jinx viewers tonight because Jinx shared the link for you guys and your production crew. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Jinx actually has a really good connection to us EPS Vision or broadcasting-wise. Last year they were talking to Dr. Molinax in a little press conference, or a little conference just on the side between principals, and they said, look, Mr. Molinax, you've got one of the best broadcasting programs in the state, if not the best. I mean, we want to be like you guys. We're jealous of you. Just hearing that
has to make you
amazing.
Guys feel good. Yeah, the whole crew has got to feel good.
It's a good feeling to hear that, one of the top schools in the state is jealous of what we do and how we do it.
That's absolutely right.
They said, we want to be like you guys. We want to have a student-led program like you guys, have student commentators and everything, and they're well on their way there. Ponca City started doing it as well.
Yep. You guys are trailblazers. Yeah. Seriously. I mean, there's a lot of people, you guys that service that I really appreciate the job you guys do week in and week out. And I know it's not easy. It's not like you show up here at game time to set this thing up. I mean, it takes hours to get everything set up and connected correctly, and then to get it streaming. And now with the new scoreboard, with the replay system down there, that is just. You guys, it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really fun. I'm really proud of you guys. I really am.
Yeah, it's speaking on that, it is a little weird coming in and working this type of job, in broadcasting and such. It's especially in high school when you have to talk about your own classmates, people that you have to go to school with. So in games like this, when you kind of have to talk about what the offense and defense has done, maybe sometimes it's a little awkward, the next day when you see those people and you're like,
yeah, this is the deal. Every one of our players is giving the best effort they can. There's no doubt about it. We're not out there taking cheap shots, or we're not out there acting foolish. We're playing football, and again, you just got to tip your hat to Jinx. Right now, they're just doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not like our kids don't want to win. And who knows? They may come back the second half. Yeah. You never know about that. So I totally see what you're saying.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They come in and give 110% of that effort. And Coach Condor has made this team one of the smartest teams. A comeback like that isn't impossible, like we talked about earlier in the first half. in 2017 against PC West, a 35-point fourth quarter comeback. You were actually there.
I was there. That was true. We were down, what was it, 35-0 at halftime? Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah, 35-0 at halftime at PC West. It was like the second, maybe third game of the year. And, you know, a lot of people were leaving. A lot of people didn't believe in us. And we just came out. We made a couple stops. We scored. Kind of got close there. Kind of like Colorado did against Colorado State. You know, had a long drive down there to tie it up. And we did. We tied it up and got it to overtime. And I was the high school principal then that night. It's my second year as high school principal. I think Marlo Hughes was one of the kids I remember watching that night. I'll tell you who else was there that night, since you're mentioning it. One of our coaches, Coach Ellis.
Yeah,
he was on that team.
We were talking to him before the game about it. We were talking about the game-saving tackle he had towards the end of the game with just a little bit of time left in the fourth.
Yes.
He had a really clutch tackle that ended up, resulting with a PC West not being able to score at the end of the game. Enid took the ball right back, went all the way down the field, scored, and forced double overtime, and they ended up winning in that.
Yeah, so you never know. I mean, that's why you play the game. You never know. Maybe they come out here. Maybe Jinx can have a few turnovers, and we can capitalize on it. But, hey, my time is almost up. Looks like we're down to a few seconds here.
Just to end that.
School's going well, though. To answer your question, I didn't cover it very much earlier. We've had a good start this school year. Fall activities are really going fast right now. They're going to be winding down here pretty quick, though. Softball and volleyball, cross country will be winding down the next few weeks. Parent-teacher conferences are coming up. Parent-teacher conferences are coming up, I believe, that Monday and Tuesday before fall break.
So with those coming up, how are you feeling in the school academic-wise?
Well, academic-wise, we're actually going through with our principals, meeting with each principal, going over our academic plans for this coming year. We, as a district, we've taken on the goal. We want to have a 10% growth in reading scores. So from pre-K all the way up to our graduating seniors, reading's our emphasis. We're trying to make reading our number one academic focus, as I said. So we've got those principal meetings to where we're really gearing up this coming school year for that. All the principals are reporting us, like I said, on academic focus. And the other thing is our attendance. So academically, we're focusing on reading. Physically, when you want more people, want more kids, and want all of our employees have 95% attendance. So those are our two primary focuses this year.
And right before the half starts, just one last note on this team. A lot of people want to ride this team off and think that they're one of the lesser teams in 6A, that they just can't really keep up with anybody.
Not true.
Anybody in this building and on this campus knows that they come in and they practice every day and play their hearts out on these games.
They work their rears off, that's right.
They really do in each and every practice. Condor has them working the absolute hardest they can to get better every week. This team, even if they're not good this year by people's standards, come next week and come in the next couple weeks, they're going to be really good.
Graduate and cheerleader of Enid High.
As you saw there, Tiffany Chavez on the sideline giving a report for the first time tonight, first time this year. It's great to see that we have a sideline camera like that.
Absolutely. Hayden, it's time for me to go, bud. I'm signing out.
All right, thank you.
You guys keep up the good work.
Thank you for coming in.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Tiffany again, and our teacher of the game is Miss Bergman. Congratulations, Miss Bergman. She is a former graduate and Enid High cheerleader.
The interview done. Who's in control right? Like who's? All right, we're back to one. Okay.
Welcome back to the second half of play. Landon Collins alongside Hayden Clark to start this second half. Going into the third quarter, Coach Connors said that they just need to, pick some things up and limit the mistakes with penalties, turnovers. How do you think they can, utilize that here in the third?
Yeah, I think they're going to really try to I don't think they're going to try to be aggressive with this football. They're going to come out a little conservative, run the ball a couple times, throw a couple short passes, and try to get this offense back into the groove of things. On defense, I think they're just going to try to continue to get pressure on the backfield and pressure on this quarterback to just stop him for keeping in a groove. He's had a great night passing-wise in the first half, so let's see if we can slow him down.
Plainsmen to kick off for the first time tonight here to start the second. Kevin Vega, both kickers for both teams are left-footed. Here's the freshman, approaches the football, and it's an onside kick, and they can't pick it up. Trojans pick it up at the 49. Score update for around the state. Edmond North at Norman, 14-12. Edmond North on top. Southmore at Broken Arrow, 45-0. Just the start of the third quarter. Broken Arrow on top in that one still. Owasso at Union, 8-21. The Redhawks stay with the lead going into halftime. 24-10 Moore at Westmore in the Moore Wars. Halftime, Moore scores once again. Takes a two-possession lead. Edmond Memorial at Edmond Santa Fe, 26-0. The Wolves are rolling over the Dogs. Norman North at Bixby, 39-0. Spartans keep the lead at halftime. UConn at Mustang, 35-7. Mustang with the lead.
In need of a very big third quarter today.
Indeed, Owen Jones to start once again. We really haven't seen the backup quarterback, Mason Lilly, play much, actually at all in this game. Owen Jones steps back, has pressure, and he gets sacked. Actually, he gets a 1-yard gain on the play. With the tackle was number 44, Britton Combs.
Great play on defense. This is the type of plays they need to make after the rest at halftime. A much-needed one. They have not been able to stay off the field a whole lot tonight.
Flag on the Spartans, going to move him back just a bit. Replay a first down. First down and 15 from the 44.
Expecting a huge third quarter from the Plainsmen.
So a start you like to see, first down and long to start their first drive. They have the penalty.
Yeah, you really like to see this. You like to see
pressure's there. They get the dump off pass to number 10. He gets to midfield, stays on his feet to the 40, cuts it left side, and he's taken down by Britton Combs.
You really like to see what they did the first couple plays, able to get some stops. Unfortunately, on that screen, he was able to take it for a huge gain for a first down, but showing signs of improvement, showing that they can improve and that they are, a good team.
Landon Corwin with the reception gets past midfield for a Trojan first down.
They just got to execute.
Ball on the 37-yard line. First down and 10 for Jinx. Two wide receivers to the left. Corwin and Beatty motion over. Toss play to Caden Jones. Gets outside to the 30. Breaks a tackle and he's hit down at the 25.
Hand off to number 2, Caden Jones. Brought down by number 22, Blake Thompson.
Bending but not breaking.
And number 20, Brady Pearson.
First down and 10 for the Trojans at the 26. Caden Jones with the first down run there of 11 yards. And 21 personnel. Slings it right side. He's got his man. Gets 5 yards. And they're going to say he has 6. Flag down on the field. With the reception is Connor Thompson.
In need of a big play on defense.
Brought down by number 5, Patrick Kennedy, and number 17, James Watson.
Holding on the offense, going to move him back 10 yards. First down and long for Jinx, 18 yards to go to the first down marker. They got to get past the 16-yard line. Right now, they're at the 34.
Good position for Enid to get a stop on defense. See if they can capitalize off the long yard situation.
Pass incomplete, intended for Caden Jones.
That drop by Caden Jones will help them significantly. So second down, 18 yards to go, like you said.
After the incompletion brings up second down and 18 from the 34. Katie Jones in at running back. It's a pass play for the Trojans. Pressure's on him. Evades one man, rolls right, fires high and incomplete.
Tried to work that side of the field again on the sideline. Another drop.
Brady Bierschmidt on the coverage for the Plainsmen. Pass was intended for number 10, Landon Corwin.
He's been in coverage on both plays, so maybe he's just, good luck on that side.
Third down and long, their longest third down of the night to this point.
A chance to get off the field and avoid points.
18 yards to go to the first down marker. Like I said earlier, they have to get past the 16. Owen Jones takes the play call from the far sideline from his head coach, Keith Riggs. Empty backfield. Two wide receivers. Three to the left, two to the right.
Been running this formation a lot tonight.
Here's the pass intended for Christensen. Incomplete. Bierschmidt on the coverage. It was just behind him, and he couldn't grasp that one in.
3 straight plays where they targeted Bierschmidt on that part of the field. Been able to lock that part up. So maybe not that breakout performance, but holding his own for 3 straight plays.
Elliot Ataya to send this one for the Trojans.
First punt by Jinx tonight, I believe.
It is. That's correct. 8 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in the third. Punt from Ataya. Takes a bounce near the 10, and the Trojans pick it up
near the 12. So 88 yards for this offense.
Flag down on the field after the play.
And you can say, well, technically it's only a certain amount for the field goal, but to this point we're not going for field goals.
So good start here for the third quarter. We talked about that. Just coming into the third quarter, they got to play well.
Yeah, they got to
stop pretty quick. Obviously, the flag, contributed to that. They had the fourth down and long. Were forced to punt the football. So now the Plainsmen have a chance to score for the first time tonight.
Yeah, but they're going to have a huge third quarter, like you said. In position to score for the first time tonight. 88 yards to go. See what happens.
Shout out to the cheer squad right here near the field house. Hyping up the crowd a bit.
Yeah, they've been great this year at making sure the crowd is always up and on their feet. They've been doing a good job.
First down and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Tight formation, quarterback keeper for Aiden Robinson, and he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Hudson Bell.
Some people are going to look at tonight's performance and be like, well, Aiden Robinson isn't a very good quarterback. But, he's really hasn't had time to do anything with the football. Pressure has been constantly in his face. This Jinx D-line, props to them. They've played really well tonight, able to get pressure off the edge on a consistent basis. But when he has time with the ball and he has time to make things work, he does a really good job.
Aiden Robinson once again. Zane Wiggins
So when Aiden has a clean pocket and has time to sit there and make his reads, and with the arm talent that he has, he can make almost any throw on the field. It's been about the battle in the trenches. Obviously, that's the most important part of the game. Whoever wins in the trenches, ultimately has the best chance of winning the game. Just haven't quite been able to do that.
Third down and 12 from their own 25. Jinx sends pressure. Robinson back to throw. Looks hit as he throws, incomplete.
What a hit. He took a shot. Surprised he got up after that. Ball went flying onto the sideline, if you saw that. Toughness by him to be able to stay up on his feet. Shows what type of character he is. And he's going to come out here and punt this football anyway, so, hits like that don't faze him.
For sure. Robinson sends this one, takes a bounce. 48 and out of bounds at the 43.
7:21 to go in the third.
Trojans march onto the field once again here in the third quarter. The second time they come onto the field offensively. Empty backfield set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Owen Jones takes a snap, Plainsmen send pressure, and they drop 5. He's going to roll right. Makes a play, throws it up, and it's caught by Katie Jones. The 35 down inside, the 35 to the 33.
What a catch. What a catch. Owen Jones able to buy some time, roll out to his right, extend the play, points for his man to go downfield. And, it looked like it was going to be a pass breakup and that he wasn't going to catch that. Juan Chavez was there, I believe, on that pass breakup, but ended up making the catch anyway.
First and 10 from the 33-yard line in Plainsman territory. One wide receiver to each side. Fullback into the game. They give it to the backup running back, Michael Wilson. He'll only get 1 yard.
Stalled out last drive. Now they're moving the ball a little bit after the big play.
.6:15 and running here on the clock. Trojans looking to score once again. Looking for their 7th touchdown of the night.
Motion's a man.
Finds Christensen at the 35 to the 30, breaks a tackle to the 25, still on his feet to the 20 and out of bounds.
Enid hasn't really had an answer for those screens tonight. You know, they like to motion a man out on that side as a blocker, throw that screen, get a couple yards, and maybe even break one off for a score. They just haven't been able to stop that. They run a lot of formations, as we said earlier, over 40 formations on offense each game. So hard to prepare for. Some things you just, you don't know are coming.
So injury timeout on the field. And now up here to the booth. We're with Marv. Marv, how you doing today?
Good.
He's doing good, he said. You might not be able to hear him. So how long you been here at Enid High, Marv? Let's give him the headset. Let's talk to Marv real quick.
All right, not counting high school, 29 years.
Okay. So how'd you get into the program?
Well, I was at OSU and had a little academic trouble and needed a summer job.
Okay.
Hooked up with Coach Craig Simmons and Bill Mayberry, which 94 season was supposed to be part-time. Next spring came full-time, and here I still am.
She's been there since.
Yeah.
Some people have said that you're an encyclopedia. You and Bruce Campbell, at least, for Plainsmen football. One of these days we need to get you maybe in the studio or up here in the booth, have a trivia game, just ask you some Plainsmen football questions for some history. Is this your first time on live television?
No.
Okay. What was the first time?
I've been on ESPN, but that was on sidelines of a game.
Oh, okay. So. Wow. Which game was that?
1993 OSU Nebraska Thursday night football.
Wow. Well, Marv, it was good having you up here. Hope you have a good night.
All right,
maybe
thanks,
see
guys.
you soon.
All right.
Of course. First down and 10 on the field from the 18-yard line in the red zone. Trojans look to score for the 7th time tonight. Motion Thompson. Takes the snap. Steps back, looks. Over the middle, towards the end zone, too far, incomplete.
Hey, man, I'd argue that was a field goal right there. That went straight in down the middle.
Through the uprights, yeah.
Thought it was going to hit the goalpost at one point. I was about to say it's a doink.
Clock will stop at 5:31 here in the third quarter. Both teams with 3 timeouts. Second down for the Trojans. Hand off to Wilson, up the middle. Hit hard, flag down. Holding on the offense. Bring back just a bit for a replay of second down.
Bringing in a couple subs on offense.
So next week, Enid plays at Moore. The score of the Moore at Westmore game is 24-17. Westmore trails at home. Obviously, both teams are at home, but whoever's scheduled for that game is the home team, which it is Westmore this time for the Moore Wars. Enid going on the road for I'd say a test.
Yeah.
Second district game.
Huge test
of the season. Decent Moore team. Ball is loose, and Owen Jones picks it right back up, and Drayden Russell gets the hit.
It's a big hit by Russell.
Third down and very long for the Trojans.
Well,
they're going to say third down and 27.
Russell was finally able to get home into the backfield and get that sack. So, good, huge thing to see. They've been knocking on the doorstep of that all night long, and now they finally got one. It's going to be third and long.
See if the Plainsmen can get their second consecutive stop of the third quarter. Not bad so far. Empty backfield, they motion Michael Wilson. Owen Jones, pressure on him, trying to escape. and he can't really get anywhere, only gets 4 yards.
Had
So it's gonna be
nobody
4th
open.
down and 23 on the field.
Great job in coverage, able to make sure everybody's in check. Jarrett Russell this time, the other Russell there to get pressure on him, almost had the sack. Pump fake, took it himself, only got 4. So there's another defensive stop.
A high punt. Takes a good bounce. Inside the 10 to the 5. Wow. Elliot Ataya with the kick for the Trojans. Plainsmen to start at their own 5. .321 to go here in the third.
Would be pretty cool to see a 95-yard drive.
Always.
Always great to see.
Way to
offensive
end
drives
the
like
third
that.
quarter.
Would be a great way to end a third quarter. And you know what would be crazy about that? If they scored and ended the third quarter 42-7, you'd need 35 points in the fourth quarter, just like that game just a couple years ago in PC West. Deja vu, maybe.
It was 35, so you'd...
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
You
okay,
know,
I see what you mean.
If they scored, going into the fourth,
My bad,
they'd have to put
I
up
didn't
35.
get that very well. Flag down after the play. Hand off to Clayton Rowland for the Plainsmen.
Looks like it's going to be on Jinx. Gonzalez in at quarterback, actually, so maybe he's going to be playing the second half.
So it goes in the Plainsmen's favor. Let's look at some upcoming matchups. Of course, we said Moore away is the next one, and then after that, away at Bixby, and then Westmore away. So 3 away games in a row. Home Broken Arrow, away Southmore, and then home Senior Night Norman North.
Senior night's going to be a good game, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Norman North has got a good squad this year. Plainsmen do, too. Go either way. Here's the play fake. Gonzalez looks over the middle, incomplete for Kennedy.
2 really talented teams getting to come over here on senior night. Going to be a good one. I can't wait for that game. Like you said earlier, Moore next week's going to be a really good challenge, too. That's going to be a good game on the road. Open up October, open up Pink Out month, breast cancer awareness.
Flag on the Plainsmen.
You think we might have some drip in store for the this month?
We'll see, folks. First down and long for the Plainsmen. 20 yards to go to the first down marker. They got to get past the 30. Here's a snap, pressure around the edge. And Gonzalez takes it himself, trying to get outside. And spins off a man, breaks a tackle and down at the 15.
Good job on his part to be able to avoid the pressure in the pocket.
Great way to improvise.
Yeah, he improvised really well, scrambled out to his left, and was able to make something happen. Didn't have to take a disastrous sack. But, speaking on the drip for this month, Landon, I think you need to get some Barbie dunks. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm good, Hayden.
Pull the trigger. Make it happen.
That's all you. Actually, no, you got something in store I forgot.
Actually, I do.
That's right, isn't it?
I
Yeah,
do, at
okay.
the end of the month.
Looking deep down the field for Jamison Washington. Incomplete. He almost caught it at the 45.
Almost an amazing diving grab. Giving him a chance, taking a shot his way. Beautiful ball by Gonzalez. Threw a great deep pass. Just couldn't come up with it.
It was on the money. Just, couldn't hold on to the football. Third down. 14 yards to go for a first down.
2:15 left in the third.
Here's the snap. Gonzalez steps back. Hit as he throws. Intercepted by the linebacker. inside the 5, and he's hit hard by Josh Withy with the interception for the Trojans.
Withy put him on his back at the end of that play.
It's Logan Finch with the pick.
Yeah, the fingertip pick. It was a really nice catch. An unfortunate turnover for the Plainsmen offense, going to set up a prime position for Jinx on the goal line. So they may end up going scoreless in the third quarter. Or we could see a Jaden Blunk type play like last year on senior night where he took the fumble, you know,
Yeah.
over 100 yards to the house, broke a record on that play.
Yep.
Maybe Brady Bierschmidt is that guy. Look at him. He's on the same side Jaden was on that play.
He was. I just remember calling that play.
You were going crazy on that play, I remember.
There's a shotgun snap. Mike Wilson won't get anywhere.
Maybe that's that type of breakout play that he has. You know, another thing interesting that Darrow told me when we were off the mic after the interview, he said his son has been able to play a little bit in this game on special teams.
That's good. A shout out to you, Dallas. Wilson gets down to the 3.
Yeah, you know, Dallas, a wide receiver this year, great size, one of the taller people on this football team, you know, learning.
He's got the length.
Yeah, he's learning this Enid offense, maybe just a little bit slow to it is what some people have said, that he's just like having to adapt. You know, he went from Chisholm Athletics over to here, so it's a bit of a bigger leap. So I think, you know, maybe a couple weeks down the line or next year, he's going to be in the game on
rotation.
Offense. Yeah, he's going to get plenty of reps, and you know, with his size, he could make a lot of big plays.
If he has a good offseason, I think he has a chance for next season to be a main target on offense.
Well, look at how some of these sports have developed some of these players over time. You know, one of the big examples of that is Jake Kennedy. He had a good junior year, but he really made the transition his senior year and had a lights-out year. He really put in a lot of work on the off season, and he was lights out this year. Some of these guys have really worked on their transformations. Tyke, over his 4 years at Enid, had a huge transformation and then had that monster year. So we do a really good job at developing guys and getting them a lot stronger and a lot more physical.
Not only football, but as we said earlier, softball is
every
better.
Sport.
Yeah, pretty much every sport has taken a step forward. And the bond issues recently, I mean, we had the gymnasium get put in, Fine Arts Center. Fine Arts doing good as well, but new tennis courts being built. They broke ground the other day.
Yeah, you're going to be able to play your senior year at the new courts, hopefully, by then.
I know the first 4 will be done by the end of by going into the second semester, so that'll be good. But that's the end of the third quarter. 42-0, Jinx on top.
But yeah, some of these transformations that people have made are just absolutely insane. Like Holden Balil had made a huge transformation last year. You know, he wasn't really a rotational guy last year or a starter, and now this year made the transition to a starter and a rotational guy.
So Jinx was going to kick a field goal from the 3-yard line. They're throwing some footballs into the stands. Oh, that was a bullet. Somebody might have just got hit in the face there. Yeah, you need to calm down, Caitlin. Just because you're a softball player doesn't mean you got to be firing these bullets.
Got to be careful. Could hurt somebody. You see the face sign in the student section as well. Not sure who that was, but...
Was it somebody's face?
Yeah, it was somebody's face, not sure who. Seen a couple of interesting ones. I've seen one for Tyson Kennedy as well.
Now I'm wondering how these kids get a hold.
Yeah, how did they do
that big?
I mean,
does Walgreens do them that big?
I think Jake Kennedy and James Humphrey had one last year too.
Yeah, who was
baseball.
It for? Oh, for baseball. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they make those or get those, but I think they're really funny.
Field goal is good from the Trojans. Excuse me, it's no good.
It is good.
Or it is good. See, he's looking at you, not the field. Shouldn't be doing that.
Score is 45-0. Heading into the danger part of the fourth. One thing to note, talking about it before the game, I talked to a couple players. Jinx has really struggled in the fourth quarter so far this year, not been able to generate much points in the fourth. Just came up with 3. See if this Enid defense can keep that trend going and not let them score.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've stopped them actually a couple
multiple
times here in the second half. They did decent in the third quarter, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they've been stepping it up.
And there's Dallas Darrow on the kick return team.
And then Percival is
side
on there as well. Haven't seen much of Percival on offense. And see if that trend changes now that he's on the field here. Obviously he's had 2 of the biggest touchdown grabs of the year to this point, with one of them being the first score by Enid all year.
Here's another deep kick. Blake Thompson picks that one up in the end zone. Plainsmen to start for the first time here in the fourth. Gonzalez was the quarterback on the last drive. See if he comes back out there.
Yeah, I haven't really seen that 2-quarterback system. It's really been Owen Jones all night. It's been his night. Gonzalez now out. No, he's still in. It looked like he was out.
Here's Carmelo Washington, breaks a couple of tackles, trying to get to the edge, stiff arm, and out of bounds.
Trying to work the perimeter of the field. Desmond Middlestead finally in at wide receiver, a guy who we expected to get a lot of reps this year. He's got good speed, good hands.
So loss on the play brings up 2nd down and 13 from their own 17-yard line. Israel Gonzalez still at quarterback for the Plainsmen. 2 wide receivers each side, steps back, has to release it quick. He does to Lane Slater, but it's incomplete, too high.
Looked like he would get his 2nd catch of the night and 2nd in varsity play. Too high. Now Middlestead back in on the outside, replacing Zaire Allen. And we haven't talked about Zaire Allen much tonight. Hasn't really been part of the game. Hasn't really seen a lot of targets go his way, but he is somebody who can make a lot of plays with the football.
Pressure on Gonzalez, lets one go. Decides to use his legs. Stiff arm, give him the Heisman move. Are you kidding me? Down at the 28.
Great run,
29
great
actually. Hey, you might as well go for it here on 4th down and short, right?
Yeah, making something happen with nothing. Able to scramble out, make that Heisman move, as you said, on that nasty stiff arm. 4th down, why not go for it? Got nothing to lose.
So they're bringing their tight formation guys in here, so usually this would be a running play, but you really never know.
Yeah, I was
with
about
Coach
to say,
Condor.
with Coach Condor, you really never know what's going to happen. Want to see a quick pass to Percival. Take advantage of his size and let him try to get that 1st down, reach for it.
Here's the snap. It's quarterback keeper for Israel Gonzalez. Looking for the line. He gets it. And even more. 5-yard gain.
Or that's another thing they do in those situations. They let the QB keep it and take it himself. Aiden Robinson, like Condor said, he likes to have him run the ball like 8-9 times a game. Gonzalez gets to keep it on that one. He gets the 1st down on 4th. A lot of trust in your quarterback to run that ball against this defensive line.
1st down and 10 after the quarterback keeper from Israel Gonzalez. 10:25 to go here in the game. Plainsmen looking to score for the first time. Another quarterback keeper. Gets hit at the line and pushed back. They say no gain on the play from forward progression.
Ran the same play on a different side of the field. Didn't work this time. Now not going to stay in that tight formation. Bringing subs in Lane Slater, Desmond Middleset, and Zaire Allen. Percival lining up on the outside as well. So a twin set.
Here's a snap from Gonzalez. Steps back, looks, fires to the right sideline. Caught. And he stays in bounds. Clock is running after the hit. Catch by Bennett Percival, his first reception of the night.
Well, there we go.
Way to hold on to the football.
Yeah, the way to take a big hit like that. He took a shot.
Third down and short on the field, 2 yards to go. Has to get past the 46.
I'm going right back at Percival if I'm Enid. You know, with his size, like I've said multiple times, you got to take advantage of that type of mismatch.
Handoff, Fuchsa looking for a first down. He may have got it. It's going to be close, though.
You know, I'm not the coach, so I don't make the play calls, and he ends up getting that first down, so it doesn't even matter.
Maybe.
Looks to be over.
First down.
So they are moving to James.
Plainsmen get to the 46. That's where they had to get. And they just barely got past the line. So first down and 10 from the 46.
Coach knows best. That's all I got to say.
For sure. 8:55 to go, just under 9 minutes left in this game. 45-0. Plainsmen looking to score for the first time tonight. Snap, rolls left. Looks, evades the sack. Oh my goodness. And he's going to run right. Looking for midfield, cuts upfield. He's looking like Johnny Football out there, am I right?
I was just about to say, look at him being electrifying with the football in his hands. Johnny Football out there. Instead, he's number 3 and in high school.
Yeah, plus 1.
But he had
Johnny Football was number 3 in high school. He was.
Oh, yeah. That was a great missed tackle there in the backfield. Able to miss that and take it for a nice run for a couple and make it a second and short.
Second down, 2 yards to go. They get past midfield after the quarterback scramble from Israel Gonzalez. Handoff, Fuchs gets the first down. Clears it by even more. Flag down after the play in the backfield. Flag is on the Plainsmen, so it's going to be replay second down. Three wide receivers to the left. Here's a snap. Screen play left side. Too low, intended for Keon Young.
You know, you talked earlier about Keon Young and how he could possibly throw the ball on a couple trick plays. Maybe they were trying to set up a throw by him.
That pass was a forward pass, but I could definitely maybe see that in the future at some point.
I could see that type of play being ran and instead throwing it backwards and seeing if he can throw the ball.
So the penalty may cost them on this drive, but they do have a chance here on third down to move the chains once again. Timeout taken by the Plainsmen. Definitely a crucial one, their first timeout of the half. 45-0, Plainsmen trail, and they look to get the first down. They have to get past the 44. So a bit of a switch up here at quarterback. Israel Gonzalez has been playing past 2 drives over Aiden Robinson.
Yeah, I don't think it's
And it's nothing like they're putting their second stringers in. It just maybe Coach Conner decided that he wants to try out a new quarterback, something we saw and last year's game, which did start at the Edmond North game, but it carried on over into the Jinx game. With the quarterback change, they started splitting reps, and eventually Aiden was the starter. Maybe that could be the case this year. Split reps, and maybe the backup eventually becomes the starter?
Well, I don't think it's something like that.
I'm just saying, maybe it could happen again.
Yeah, I mean, it could very possibly happen again, but I don't think that's the intention of him coming in here. I think they're just trying to, conserve Aiden and make sure he doesn't get hurt. He took a huge shot earlier and was just a bit like loose when he got up, So I think they're just giving Israel some time and some experience in this game. We're to a point where we can
I
do that.
I definitely like how he can use his legs. I mean, it's nothing like
I love what he's doing with his legs and his ability to, scramble and make plays in the pocket. But
he's not a huge guy like the bulldozer. I mean, Jackson Arnold does it some at OU, but here's the snap, and he gets sacked. Nothing like the bulldozer, like where he runs people over. He's just an elusive guy.
Yeah.
He's very agile. I'd say more like Johnny Football, Lamar Jackson type of player.
And he's got a good arm. He's got a underrated arm, I'd say, is the best word for it. And he came in last year in baseball and regionals, played lights out in a couple games, had a lot of really nice strikeouts, played really well, able to get a couple nice wins, I believe one of them being the Jinx. So he's an underrated guy in the building. He's also an underrated worker. People don't realize how hard he works day in and day out. He's a constant worker every single day.
So Gonzalez is going to punt now for the Plainsmen. They just keep Aiden Robinson on the sideline.
That's what I was talking about. I don't think it's Israel is going to take over Aiden's job. I think they're just giving him experience. They want him to be the guy at some point, possibly. That's a good thing. You're giving your young guys development and a chance to go get on the field and get experience.
High punt picked up at the 49. Jinx to start 1 yard shy midfield from the right hash. First and 10 from the 49. Trojans pack it in.
Benjamin Hackle over in a linebacker right now on the edge.
Here's the handoff, gets hit by Jesse Penante and taken down. So Michael Wilson. .6:20 to go here in this game.
Another change, Caleb Roman in that linebacker as well. Middle linebacker. And number 50, Dominique Harmon. Or Dominic, however you say that name, excuse me.
Lefty quarterback rolling, fires, caught. First down, Jinx.
That is Jack
McAnally.
McNally.
.5:30 to go here in this game. Jack McAnally, the backup quarterback for the Trojans, is in. Here's a handoff to Michael Wilson. 2 yard gain on the play.
Mason Lilly has played no time at quarterback tonight.
A guy that we got told may get some reps, maybe split time with Owens, and haven't seen that at all.
We just haven't seen it.
Here's the toss, looking for a lane, has a convoy of blockers, gets the first down.
Well, here after this game in about 5 minutes, Enid FCA will be holding their annual 5th quarter over at David Allen Memorial Ballpark. So
Is it at David Allen's?
yes, it is today.
Okay.
So be sure to be there afterwards. They have food, snacks, and games and such. And,
What's
you know, it's
the
always
reason
a
of
good time.
change, you know?
I don't know for sure. I just know that they want to do it there this time around. Maybe just trying something different, you know. I've heard that there's going to be a lot of really fun games there, though, so be sure to be there after the game.
Fires to the flat, caught by the receiver and taken down for no gain. Under 4 minutes now in the game. 45-0 Plainsman defense looking for a stop here on second down. Ball on the 27. And off to Farrell. Trying to bounce it outside. And he'll get 9 yards on the play.
Three minutes to play in the fourth.
So the 5th quarter is at David Allen because they're having a volleyball tournament today and tomorrow in the new gym.
Makes sense, you know. Should have known that.
Randy, I thought you were at this game. I saw you at halftime. You must have left or he's listening.
Well, we saw him before the game, too.
Yeah. 3rd down and short for the Trojans.
Shout out to him, PA announcer for a long time now. Coach
Retired.
Watts. Retired.
Incomplete through his hands.
So good on
Intended
him.
for Trenton Mason. So clock will stop at 2:42. 4th down and 1 on the field for the Jinx Trojans.
Would be a pretty nice stop for the Enid defense to, you know, force a turnover on downs.
One wide receiver to the right. They motion 2 over pre-snap. 1 yard to go for the first down. Here's the handoff. He gets the first down. It's Michael Wilson inside the 10 to the 8. Jinx knocking on the door for maybe their second time scoring in this quarter.
Enid just looking for a stop, something to go off on a high note tonight. See if they can make it happen.
Clock is running down. Trojans hand it off to Michael Wilson and a flag down before the snap. False start on the offense.
Gonna move them back outside the 10-yard line.
Handoff, Michael Wilson gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. Quick score update from around the state. Norman North at #1 ranked Bixby. Final score 60-0. Norman North starts off 0-1 in district play. Bixby starts off 1-0. Memorial at Santa Fe for Edlam. 54-0. The Timberwolves are rolling over the Dogs of Edmond Memorial. Westmore, that's a close one. The Moore Wards, 30-23, and Moore still has the lead.
I think Santa Fe really wanted to win the Edmond game.
They did. Edmond North at Norman, 28-34. Norman winning that just by 1 score. 7 minutes left in that game. I would probably tune in to Cref Sports TV to watch that one. Connor Pasby on the call. Voice of the Norman High Tigers, I believe.
After this game, of course.
After this game, yes, of course. Owasso at Union, 48-8. Union just took over in the second half and pretty much destroyed the Rams of Owasso. UConn at Mustang, 42-7. Mustang on top. Sophomore at BA, 52-7. BA winning that one.
Owasso kind of a little disappointing that they got blown out and losing by 40.
Looks like Union played another good second half 2 weeks in a row. Obviously, they couldn't, execute fully against Jinx, but they played two good weeks in a row of second half football.
Yeah, really good, I'd say, this week. Winning by 40 is
yeah.
a bit of an accomplishment.
14 seconds on the clock and a flag down on the field. Holding on the offense, they'll bring the Trojans back pretty far on a 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, coming up on a double-digit play drive. This defense just trying to get off the field. Just trying to end this game. Maybe they just take a knee, let this game end here. Just going to let the clock run out.
So that's the end of the game, folks. Final score, 45-0. Trojans win this one. A couple of things we saw tonight. Israel Gonzalez came in at quarterback. You saw Mario move to right tackle. Zarion Sanders playing some D-line along with Colt Newman. But Colt got some reps last week and some earlier weeks in the season. But, what do you think about the game, Enid?
It's just one of those unfortunate games that we had to lose. One team just came out here and just played an all-around better game for 4 quarters, and that's going to happen. It's the nature of the game. There's always teams like this that are going to come in and just play an all-around great game, and there's nothing you can really do about it. But some key takeaways from this game, as you said, Israel Gonzalez came in and played some time, had some really great plays with his legs, able to run it for a few really nice games. Tyson Kennedy had some nice tackles, some nice hits. Josh Withy had a nice hit on the sideline at one point in the game. This offensive line didn't play a bad game either. Dylan Nelson played a great game. Martin Hearn played a great game. Brock Sullivan, obviously played a great game on this blindside
So we saw some upside in
this game.
Yeah,
we saw some upside from a lot of positions in this game. That offensive line and sometimes the defensive line being one of them. Those two sides didn't play a bad game. It's just about execution, and we just didn't execute tonight, and that was the biggest factor in this game.
I'm going to go ahead and check the score of the Moore at Westmore game. So Moore still winning 30-23, 10 minutes left in that game. I'd probably go over there and start watching that one. Plainsmen go on the road next week to face off against the Lions for their 2nd district game of the season. Plainsmen start off 0-1. The Trojans start off 1-0. So it should be a good matchup next week. Plainsmen have a couple things, to touch up on in practice, and they really didn't play that bad of a game, and they know what to work on, and they can work on it. Coach Condor is great at, let them know what to do. So
yeah, they're starting to really, really find a groove in their system. It's just going to be about execution throughout. They're going to have to take the system that they've been learning this year and execute to a higher degree every week. I think they're going to start doing that. The beginning of the year, starts a little slow, but I think in this middle towards the end of the year, they're going to really heat up, and they're going to pick up the pace, and they're going to have a really great end of the year.
We'll see how it goes. Final score, 45-0. Plainsmen lose this one. Start off 0-1 in district play, and they go to 1-3 on the season next week at Moore. Signing off, Landon Collins alongside Hayden Clark. Hope you guys have a good night.
Go Big Blue.